ねえ、さっき聞いたこと本当なの？
手合わせならいつでも付き合おう。
Alright, so it looks like we're live. So today I wanted to do a fairly short stream. I'm kind of tired, and this week and for the foreseeable future, I'm gonna have to be
さっき
waking
聞
up
いたこと
quite
本
early in
当
the
なの？
morning most days. So for that reason, it's gonna be hard for me to stream a lot on weeknights, because I'll have to go to bed somewhat early. That said, it's not like I usually stream all that late anyway.
手
It's
合わせなら
just
いつでも
streaming
付き
tends
合
to
おう。
eat into evening time. So that's one reason why I decided to start today's stream earlier than usual.
ねえ、
Not like
さ
I
っき
usually
聞いたこと
stream on
本
Thursdays
当なの？
anyway. And yeah, I wanted to do a fairly short and mostly relaxing stream of doing the new Abyss, specifically floors 9 and 10, which are the easy floors, at least for me at this point. 9 and 10 are difficult at mid game, and early game certainly impossible, mid game difficult, end game easy. And I'm at the end game stage in terms of my account. So I just wanted to get through 9 and 10, 9-star both of those floors, which I don't know if I'll be able to do those in my first attempt. Floor 9, I think it won't be that hard. Floor 10, I think I might manage 7 or 8 stars on my first attempt. And also, I wanted to maybe do a little bit of the hangouts, specifically finishing up Barbara's, because I am close to finishing it. Let's see. You can see, yeah, well, I still got 2 more endings to unlock, which seems to be off of that branch. Or, oh yeah, so it looks like there's 1 ending from this branch and 1 ending from that branch that I still need to unlock. And Noelle, I've already finished. And maybe I could also finish Diona's, depending on the case, but I don't think I'll be able to finish it tonight. Maybe I'll be able to start it. Who knows? But to begin with, I'm gonna do the, like I said, the easy floors on the new Abyss, and I will also make sure to put on my own music, because I think for the Abyss, just listening to the same Genshin Impact music, not that in interesting. Yeah, so I guess last time I still have 5 more stars that I need to get if I want to ever 36 star the Abyss, which I still have yet to ever do. Physical damage, crit rate is increased by 3%. Crit hits on opponents will unleash shockwaves that deal AoE damage. Neat. So you get effectively 15% crit rate up if you manage to crit 5 times within 10 seconds. I see. So consistent crits are very helpful. So let's see. Check the oh, not the rewards. So I don't remember exactly what the sequence was, but it looks like we're dealing with cryo enemies for a good portion of it. So one thing I thought was it would be fun to bring out my recently built, and she's still a work in progress in terms of artifacts, of course. That's artifact health forever. I think I'll bring my recently built Yanfei to the bottom one, which means I'll have Yanfei as my main DPS in the bottom, and I guess I'll just use good old Ganyu as my main DPS at the top. I'm gonna want a Pyro at both sides to deal with cryo enemies and the Abyss mages, and especially the Abyss mages. So let me think for a sec. I think with it Ganyu and Diona is a good combination. Diona provides shields. How about this? We can do this as my top team. And my bottom team will put in Zhongli. I like having Zhongli with Yanfei, because one thing I've noticed using Yanfei more, and I'm guessing this is more of an issue with any Catalyst user than it is to do with Yanfei specifically, which is that Yanfei is very vulnerable when she's attacking, and I think that's because she's so static. She has to stand still, especially for a charge attack. She's still for a very long time. And for that reason, having a very strong shield that can protect her is very helpful. It's very useful. So given that, also I'm gonna bring him as my support slash healer, but I think I want another healer. So she could be a good healer. She is a good healer. So that's kind of a hodgepodge of a team, but it could work. So let's give that a shot. And if I have to try again, I'll just try again. And I think I'll mix things up by between floors. I will try the hangout stuff. So do that. Alright, so let's put on some music, and I'll put on some more challenge style intense music rather than the, how do you say, the more relaxing music that I often listen to. Actually, just a moment. I'm just gonna check my audio. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Alright, so I don't remember exactly what's in this here, but let's see, what's the sequence gonna be? Let's switch to Bennett, uses burst, Diona shield, Bennett burst, Ganyu burst. Yeah, let's do that. And then Ganyu burst. One thing I just realized, this team doesn't have anyone who can handle hard shields. So that could come in troublesome depending on the case. Okay, let's get his burst up. Okay. Yep, that works. Yep, let's just use his burst. And where are the next enemies? Ah, there they are. Oh shit, so I can't handle those guys with Ganyu so much, but I can still distract them with Ganyu, which I think I'll try to do. So I'm gonna melt through their shield with Bennett. Let's try to get his burst. Ah shit, I whiffed on that, but that's okay. And then let's use that to get that guy up in the air. Looks like we somehow managed to kill that one Hilichurl. I might have to go back and check the VOD to see exactly what happened, but I don't quite know how I managed to kill that Hilichurl, the big shield Hilichurl. Okay, time to use Ganyu's auto attacks. Alright, and try to get Venti's burst up for next round, I guess, because we do have quite a lot of time right now. Because to get 3 stars on this chamber, you need to do it in 5 minutes, and we haven't even gone through 2 minutes yet. So we're not even halfway through the time allotted, and this should be interesting, because I haven't used Yanfei in the Spiral Abyss at all. She has never been built in my previous runs in the Spiral Abyss. So let's see how she does. In my overworld farming, she's been fantastic. So, hopefully we can transfer that to this. Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah. One thing, of course, is the fact that Jingchu's E makes him wet, but only briefly. It's very nice how it's not like Barbara's, where it just makes her and everyone else wet for just ever. Right. Okay. Okay, so this guy. Yeah, I'm not sure if I want to necessarily kill him right now, but could be useful. Let's apply cryo to these, and let's see if we can get Yanfei's damage going. Good. Okay. Okay, who have we killed so far? Alright, so this mage is still alive, which is annoying. But now it's that. Let's try to get Jingchu's burst up. Okay, I need to switch off of Yanfei, which unfortunately wastes her burst a bit, but that's okay, because we got decent use out of it already anyway. Let's see if we can get some healing going and freeze enemies. We still have a minute and a half left, so I think if we get rid of the Abyss Mage first... Okay, we only have this guy left. Let's try to get our bursts up, because we have over a minute left. So, not a bad thing to try to prepare for the next chamber. Let's use her E. That'll get some particles, I think. Oh no? I thought the E always generated particles on impact. Guess not. Good, got it frozen. Got more burst up. Let's see. Getting closer. Yep, got some energy particles. Oh, okay. Well, that was pretty easy. I think it died from Zhongli's pillar resonance, georesonance, or not georesonance, but that whole boom, like, wave of energy that comes out of it. My skill damage, that's pretty good. Let's use that because it will help me in the final chamber. Both the first one and the second one seem quite good, but I'm probably not going to need much help on this chamber to 9-star it. Well, let's find out. Okay. Use that for the shield. And then, yeah, use that. Use his. Yeah, basically I'm going to be using Bennett's E and his Q to handle all these cryo enemies, because Ganyu can't do that much, although her auto attacks do a ton of damage. That is true. Let's see, got that one. Okay, now I'm gonna work on these guys a little bit, because I can't... Well, I need to kill all of them in order to win this battle, right? Let's see. Here. Kill this one slime first. Alright, it caught a Hilichurl in there too. And let's use his burst. That'll give us more damage. And I'm using that mainly for the as the decoy. Or only as the decoy, because of course that thing doesn't do any damage to it. But that thing I think protected me a little bit. Now let's put up that shield. And I'm just gonna try to do my best to work on these slimes, because the fact that they're immune to Ganyu's attacks makes them kind of a pain to deal with. So I just wanna take care of them when I have the chance, you know? I think that makes sense. Let's get Venti's burst up again. Yeah, we got that guy left. Along with the slime. And this is the first half. Oh, no, yeah, this is the first half, so I'm not gonna take my time to build bursts and heal up or such, although I will do a little bit of healing now. But rather, I'm just gonna try to prioritize killing everything quickly. Okay. Okay. Here, let's distract it with Ganyu's burst. And now let's try to kill it very quickly. Okay, I guess that was pretty quick from that point. I didn't think it would go down that quickly, but I guess once the shield was gone, Ganyu's burst just, yeah, destroyed it. Right, so I'm gonna start with Zhongli's shield, then Jingchu's E, then Yanfei, and go from there. Yeah, that's really just for energy generation more than anything. Okay. Good. Okay. And I'm not gonna enjoy floor 11 again with its E... What is it? Cooldown increase. That is just so awful. Alright. Okay. Here. Let's get that melt damage going on. Yeah. So I don't know if it's mainly how strong Yanfei is or how strong of a support Jingchu is, but I've been using them as a pair for a lot when testing out Yanfei, basically. Oh. And it's just like the amount of damage Yanfei is pulling off, it's like way beyond what I would have expected at the stage that I have her right now, because she's not all that well built in terms of artifacts, or her weapon's a decent 4-star weapon for sure, you know, that counts for something, but her artifacts aren't so great, and her crit rate, crit damage, not that great. So I've been very impressed, and I think really Jingchu might be the one who is carrying it for the most part. Okay, so we got just this guy left, and I think it'll be good to get cryo damage going on him, because it eats through his electro shield very quickly. But with only Ichi as my cryo, my ability to deal cryo is a little limited. That said, this guy goes down very quickly once his shield is down, so even with the relatively low amount of time I have remaining, it should be fairly manageable. Okay. So, I think I mentioned earlier on a stream that I figured out that with Yanfei, sort of the pattern I want to go is mainly auto, and then charge, like that. Okay, so I managed to get 3 stars there, although it was fairly close, and I think that's partly because my Yanfei is not as strong as my Beta or Keqing, and also because I'm just much less used to fighting with Yanfei than those characters. And none of these are all that good, but this one's the best. Alright, so this is the one I have to beat in 3 minutes or less. So let's really focus and try to do it. Now, I don't remember what the enemies were here. There are 3 enemies. How about I just take care of this guy very quickly? Okay. And maybe I can take care of this guy? Yeah, okay, they're both dead. Now let's eat through his shield. Okay. Oof. I'm getting damage dealt, of course, but thanks to Bennett's burst providing such incredible heals, basically not much of a factor. So normally I like to aim for this guy's head, but the fact that he's moving side to side relative to me means that I'm gonna be going for kind of a safer approach of aiming for his legs. Okay. Let's try using his burst, see how much damage that does. Oh, that's pretty nice. Okay, so took care of that fairly quickly. Now, pressure's on Yanfei to deliver in about 2 minutes, I think. So I don't remember who the enemies were, but I do recall there was an Abyss Mage. So I'm gonna use Zhongli's shield, then Jingchu burst, Jingchu E, then Yanfei. Okay. Let's get rid of the Abyss Mage ASAP. I think that's a very high priority right now. Because, especially since he's the guy who provides the domain, like, obstacle, which I absolutely hate. Right, let's use that. Let's, just in case, get some healing going. Oh, I should have switched to Jingchu first. Let me switch to Jingchu quickly, get some vape damage going, and have Yanfei do her thing. Now, I still have over a minute left, so I think I'm pretty good right now. Just taking care of this guy in a minute should not be that problematic, given how much HP he has. Alright, there we go. Alright, so, as expected, floor 9, quite easy. Let's leave and let's pick up the rewards, and like I said, I'm going to be breaking these floors up by going into the Hangouts event. So, I'll do that. The Victor's top hat, Gladiator's Destiny, Berserker's Rose. Wanderers. Alright, so the top hat. Well, there's a few new ones here, but so this one I kind of like because it has EM as the main stat. Crit rate, crit damage, attack. Oof, that's a solid set. So this. Oh! What? What? This is really good. This is really good. Crit damage. The crit rate's a low roll, 2.7%, I think, but other than flat defense, which we all know it's gonna roll into flat defense every time, but still, right now, let's just feel that hope of potential with Elemental Mastery, right? Because it's good to have EM on this set, Wanderer's Troop. It's got crit rate, crit damage is the main stat. Definitely leveling that one up soon. Yeah, these are both very good. I hope I hope we got some good rolls. Yeah, that's the main thing, right? I'm gonna take a look at the 4-star feather. 4-star feathers generally aren't worth keeping because feathers you can be picky. But yeah, that one's not worth keeping. If it had 4 stats and they were all really good, maybe, but no. And let's look at the berserkers. I like berserkers for the easy crit rate. That one's trash. I don't know which one of these is the new one, so I'll just look at all of them. That one has potential, but I don't like the flat defense. That one's trash. That one's trash. Yeah, if it has 2 stats... Yeah, I feel like if it has 2 stats, maybe those 2 stats better be really good. Oh, let me unlock the rewards as well. Nice. Oh, that reminds me, I also have to do some pulls here because I did pick up the monthly shop stuff. As you can see, I still don't have the currency to buy more Acquaint Fates, but I expect I'll be getting more as I do some more pulls for Eula and such, because I'm not going to be pulling hard for Eula, but I figure since I'm not really that attracted to Clay or Kazuha, for now I'm happy to spend some pulls on Eula. Yeah. So, but in the meanwhile, let's spend these Acquaint Fates, which this one's giving me nothing. And my history... Oh yeah, the last pull I did was an Amber, so odds of anything good is pretty darn low. Yep, nothing. But yeah, no, what can you do? It's about what I expected. Now, I'm gonna go do the Barbara hangout. So yeah, it's at this point where things split. Let me see if I can remember, because if we look at this, the second chili brew ingredient. So yeah, I recall I was asked to, if I wanted to get drinks from the cat's tail, I think, or get a drink from Barbara that she made. And I believe last time I chose to get a drink from Barbara. So let's try choosing to go to the cat's tail. I have watched a lot of this before because I watched streamers play it, but now I get to experience it for myself. Oh, not that one. I'm gonna turn on the music again too, so that I just have the game music instead of having my own. I think it's if I'm watching a story cutscene, I think it makes sense. It's kind of nice. And right now the audio is set to Japanese, which... You know what? I'm gonna switch it to Korean, because I am kind of curious about how they... Yeah, how they set the voiceover language. Yeah. What they call Barbara here in some of these upcoming cutscenes.
응? 이번엔 무슨 일이야?
Oh, they have this part voiced.
아, 맞아.
Oh, all
아까
of this is voiced.
바바라님이 친구와 약속이 있다면서 반나절 휴가를 내셨어. 정말 의외야. 바바라님이 친구 때문에 일부러 휴가도 내시고.
I noticed she says Barbara-sama in, well, in the Korean version, which would be Barbara-님, but it'll be sort of be ironic for Victoria, who is presumably the above Barbara in the tier or something in the church, to call her
아무튼
Barbara-sama.
그래서 나한테 무슨 볼일 있어? 뭐? 바바라님이 너랑 같이 그 특별
Again,
음료를
바바라님.
사오기로 했다고? 바바라님이 말한 친구가 바로 너였어?
You know, when I had this conversation with Barbara, I was like right there in front of that guard. I'm surprised you didn't catch me,
너
because you
같은
were here the
명예기
whole
사라면
time.
이상할 것도 없지. 대충 상황은 알겠어. 그럼 바바라 부제님을 잘 부탁해, 명예기사.
Yeah, Barbara's not a slave. She just works at the church, right? Why does she need to be
그건
her
너도
free time?
알다시피 바바라 부제님은 몬드성에서 아주 인기가 많잖아. 다들 호의로 그러는 거긴 하지만 그 수가 너무 많다 보니 바바라님도 가끔 감당이 안 되는 모양이야. 근무 중엔 성당 사람들이 바로바로 도와줄 수 있지만 휴가 중엔 바바라님 혼자 헤쳐나가야 해. 근데 또 너무 착하셔서 항상
Yeah, she
근무일보다
doesn't
더
know how to
힘들
say no,
정도로
right?
주민들의
I wonder
요청을
if we'll see some
들어주시지.
character development where she learns to stand up for herself, or maybe not necessarily for herself, but for her free time.
그래서 휴가 일정을 보고해달라고 한 거야. 도움이 필요할 때 우리가 언제든 달려가 줄 수
I'm kind
있게.
of suspicious of that as being a reason. There are better ways to accomplish the same thing that doesn't involve requiring Barbara to check in on you before she goes anywhere for fun. That's kind of a bullshit reason, I think. If my boss came up with that to ask me, like, what are you doing on your, or where are you going on your weekends, like, you have to report to me, I'd be like, fuck off. I don't need to tell you. And I don't believe you when you tell me that you just want to help. I mean, I wouldn't tell her like that, but, you know, it'd be like, that is not very legit. That is not something that I trust. Alright, so let's go here and continue the hangout event with Barbara. But before I continue, I'm gonna go chop up some trees, because Pinewood is actually very easy to get, because, oh wait, I think the cooldown, so I know there's a 10 tree cooldown, which you can actually, there are, I believe, 13 or 12 trees just in this space, so you can actually get a loop going here indefinitely, because every 10 trees, the 11th tree before resets so that you can chop it for more wood. But pinewood's pretty important. I've noticed for me, birchwood and pinewood tend to be the most the ones that I always seem to run the lowest out of. I guess I also need some more fragrant cedar. Sandbear. Yeah, sandbear is a third one for me. Sandbear, pine, and birch. And I don't know if that has more to do with what I make, or how available these are, or also... Oh, there's Barbara. Also, it could relate to just the areas that I tend to farm, because I almost never go out of my way to farm trees. I just go around where I do my normal farming, and then I chop trees when I'm there. Barbara-shi. So he doesn't say Barbara-sama. It would be the Korean equivalent, or the Japanese equivalent would be more Barbara-san, where he says Barbara-shi. It's kind of weird how in the English version everyone just says Barbara-sama. And also Barbara-shi, not Barbara-님. Is it really Ellen you want an autograph for, or is it yourself? It's okay, no need to be embarrassed. Barbara's a cutie. You can be a fan even if you're a fully grown middle-aged man. I like her voice. I think she actually said Barbara-님, not Barbara-shi. She really worships Barbara and isn't just a fan.
바바라씨! 바바라씨!
바바라님,
Yeah, she says Barbara-님, the others two say Barbara-shi, which is like Barbara-san, and Barbara-sama. Looks like Barbara needs a lot of rescuing in her quest. I like how they synced up. Oh, I guess they just happen to have the same animations, but the woman, I guess, has a different one.
바바라님, 어떻게 해야 당신처럼 기품이 있어질 수 있는지
When I see Susie, I'm always reminded of the character from Calvin and Hobbes. I remember when I was a kid and I first moved to America, Calvin and Hobbes was one of the first English things that I read like regularly all the time. And I remember I always used to think her name was Sussy. Because, I mean, why not? It's spelled that way. But so it's bizarre to me that it's pronounced Susie, especially since a Z is a Z sound, not an S. The idea that the first S is pronounced like S, but the second S is pronounced like Z was just like utterly bizarre to me. I guess it's still kind of bizarre, but I understand it a bit more now. They're both pretty good.
남을 배려하는 거라. 응? 넌 명예기사 아니야? 왜 바바라님이랑 같이 있는 거야?
Interesting. So in the English subtitle, you can see she says you and Barbara must be, as if she thinks something's going on. In the Korean dub, she asks right out, it's a question mark ending where she asks, what are you doing together with Barbara? Like why are you hanging out with her? That kind of question.
난 또 미안. 바바라님을 보니까 나도 모르게 감격해서. 네 말이 맞아. 바바라님처럼 되려면 이런 사소한 것부터 시작해야지. 명예기사랑 같이 있다는 건 분명 중요한 일을 처리 중이신 거니
Oh wow,
미안할게.
it actually worked. I was kind of skeptical. I thought she might just keep pushing. Nice, that worked. Now we have to persuade Herman. This reminds me of the Zhao quest where we had
엘린이 아주 기뻐할 거예요.
where we had the cult leader with his 3 followers that we had to talk to one at a time. Barbara's almost like a reluctant cult leader. Oh, Ellen is the knight in training. That's who she was, huh? So Herman is Ellen's father. I don't know that.
그럼 이만 가보겠네. 엘린은 아직 훈련 중이니
That's kind of funny because Ellen's clearly in love with Jean, and Herman, I wouldn't say he's in love with Barbara, but he still clearly loves her as a fan. So we got kind of a weird little 4-way relationship square going on. Not a love triangle or anything of the sort, but yeah. They could probably enjoy a good family dinner together?
바바라 씨는 정말 열심히네. 나도 저렇게 노력한다면 분명 단조 실력이.
That seems like a good lesson to take.
어라, 너 명예기사잖아. 왜 바바라 씨랑 같이 있는 거야?
Again, he asks directly with a question mark at the end. Why are you hanging out with Barbara?
바바라 씨 정말 일하는 중이었구나.
Wow, they all leave in peace. They're much less pushy than I expected. Yes.
어라? 다들 왜... 자초지종을 설명했다고요? 그럼 모두를 설득했다는 건가요? 그분들의 마음은 이해하지만 경험상 계속 그 상태로 두면 몰려드는 사람이 더 많아졌을 거예요. 전 거절을 잘 못해서 결국 페보니우스 기사단분들이 와서 정리를 해주시... 저도 여행자님처럼 말을 잘하고 싶어요. 여기
Help
여행자님을
you
위해
practice.
주문한
Could give you some
위대하고
oral
몽환적인
lessons,
센티멘탈한
Barbara.
산호
I think you might enjoy that. Okay, so that's the cat's tail
모처럼의
drink.
휴일인데 성 밖을 산책하면서 천천히 마시자고요.
Sounds nice. I'll do
이제야
that.
좀 느긋하게 쉴 수 있겠네요. 같이 와줘서 고마워요.
So one thing I noticed
보니
actually
당신과 이렇게
is
산책하는 건 처음이네요. 처음에 명예 기사라고 해서 되게 근엄한 기사일 줄 알았어요.
during these walking segments, it is
막상
possible.
상상했던 거랑 전혀 다르더라고요.
It is possible to
다른
start
뜻은 없어요.
dashing, right, and start sprinting. Like, you can start an attack and then dash, and now you can sprint. But I noticed the moment you start sprinting, the NPC just stops walking, so it basically doesn't save you any time at all. You have to walk with them at their pace.
이렇게 젊은 나이에
90 and fully
명예
crown
기사라는
her?
직함을
One
얻다니
day. One
정말
day, Evan,
대단하다고
one day.
생각한 것뿐이에요.
She's already 80 out of 80. I guess I still need to... Oh god, that means I have to fight the fucking Oceanid. God, fighting the Oceanid after so long just to ascend Jingchu was such a pain. But I want to build Barbara DPS, that's for sure. One day. She's gonna get all 3 crowns. That's a promise. You can quote me on that. She will be getting 3 crowns before the... Let's say before the year's over. Yeah, I'll shoot for that. Assuming... Or how about this? If I get C6 Barbara, which I'm hoping I do on... You know, within the year, then I will triple crown her. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true. With Ganyu, Oceanid is easy. That's true. But I still don't like fighting it. It's just kind of boring. But yeah, you're right. It's no longer really that much of a challenge. I just don't like fighting it. I really wish the event Oceanid boss was there, because I really like that boss better. Let's see. So I feel like none of these options really are gonna make a difference. They all just seem like parts of the conversation, or maybe similar words. Yeah, you neither? Yeah, I feel like Oceanid's probably the least popular of the regular world bosses. Partly because she's tough as hell if you don't have Ganyu, but also just because of the nature of the boss. A lot of the mini Hydro enemies are just not fun to fight, and so with Ganyu they're just trivial because you just fully freeze them, which isn't fun either. Supposed to do without Ganyu without pulling your hair out? I mean, you know, we all used to do it without Ganyu, right? How did I manage? I barely managed with Chongyun doing some freeze. But the enemies that I really hated without Ganyu were the flying birds. Or the non-flying birds too. They're really annoying too. But the flying birds, you need to actually either aim at them or use a bow user or something like that. And aim at them, or use their auto attacks, or use a catalyst user. There's really not much you can do. And yeah, I just hate them. And just how quickly they can attack. The wind up to their swoop attack is just really short. So you don't have very much of a chance to dodge it. Okay, I mean, sometimes it's good to be self-interested.
아버지께서 말씀하신 것처럼 거절 못하는 제 성격 때문이에요.
Oh yeah, Fischl. Yes, I think that's also another method I might have tried to use, using Fischl, but that works. Yeah, using Oz, because yeah, when we say we use Fischl, we really mean we use Oz, right? Yep.
아버지와 빅토리아 수녀님은 훌륭한 부제가 되려면 우선 거절하는 법부터 배워야 한다고 항상 그러셨거든요.
Yeah, the Oceanid water enemies, maybe 1 group at a time is not bad, and even 2 is manageable, but yeah, aren't there 3 groups at a time at the end? I actually don't remember if it's only 2. But in any case, because of how the level also gets smaller, and the fact that hydro enemies can actually just walk on water, which makes sense, but it doesn't make it any less of a pain to deal with, right? That also just makes it really annoying.
전 못해요. 도움이 필요한 사람을 보면 어느새 도와주게 돼요.
I mean, if it's in your nature, Barbara, maybe it's good to embrace that, and that's good, because you're a healer.
누군가
It makes
고민하고
sense.
있으면 해결해주고 싶고 제게 무언가를 부탁하면 최대한 만족시켜드리고 싶어요. 아무리 힘들어도 사람들이 웃는 모습을 보면 기분이 좋아지거든요. 역시 전 아직 훌륭한 부제가 될 자격이 없는 거겠죠.
Not yet. So in the Korean dub, she said, "I'm not yet qualified to be a proper deaconess," rather than just saying, "I'm not a proper deaconess after all." JP Barber's actually, I haven't listened to her in a while.
게다가 제가 불평만 했는데 끝까지 들어주셔서 감사해요. 명예기사의 격려도 들었으니 앞으로도 노력할게요. 그럼 남은 음료는 여기서 다 마셔버리죠.
I wonder if the final
오늘
shot
푹
we
쉬고
get is of
나서
them enjoying a
내일부터
drink
또
together on the
열심히 해요.
bridge. That would make sense. Oh yeah, and it's got these birds, Timmy's birds, flying about. Let's see. I guess Timmy's birds aren't there. But actually, oh, it's rare that I have an animo character on my team. So I basically never pick up these dandelions, but since I do have one right now, why don't I just go and do that? But actually, yeah, I need to remind myself what Barbara's Japanese voice is like, because even though I've been playing in Japanese for a lot recently, I've been barely playing Barbara because I've been using my other healers mainly.
バーバラ、堂々登場。
Oh yeah, it's this
治
voice.
療なら任せてね。がっかりさせないから。雪だ。冷たいな。おはよう。今日も頑張ってね。
Yeah, Barbara's JP voice is very good. Yeah, it's definitely higher than Korean. But I actually kind of like the boyish voice of Barbara in Korean. That's one thing that that I feel like there's a bit of a gap moe there, because you look at Barbara and her design, she looks very cute, right? Not like over the top completely like say Diona, but she's very cute, so you'd expect kind of a high-pitched girly voice. And it's not like the voice is unfeminine or anything, but there's a boyish quality to it, a kind of a huskiness, which it appeals to me. I like it. Her statue, stature, not statue. Yep, makes sense. Also, I noticed I got some EXP books, so I'm gonna continue to level up Yanfei. Oh yeah, my Yanfei in the Abyss was not even level 80. So she's all that much stronger. Okay, so now that I've finished one of Barbara's endings, I'm gonna go to do floor 11, not floor 11, floor 10 of the Abyss. Oh, hello Nat, thank you for coming by. Not too much, not gonna be streaming too long tonight, but there were some things that I kind of just wanted to get through. Unfortunately, for the foreseeable future, I need to be waking up very early in the morning, so I won't be streaming as often on weeknights anyway. Tomorrow I probably won't be streaming, and same with Sunday, so I think Saturday. And that's one reason I decided I'll stream today, because usually over the weekend, I do like to stream at least twice, and at least once on Sunday. But again, I just have some IRL stuff. Like Sunday, I have, it's actually good. I got a softball game and such. Yeah, what's up with you? Hope you've been doing well. Having good luck with artifacts and such. I haven't been farming artifacts myself at all, actually. I've been spending my resin on talent books and weapon material, to be honest, mostly. Let's see. Yeah, I don't remember these very much at all. The lava try, I think the last part is the final... It's just a one-on-one fight, basically, against the lava troll. Okay, I think taking the same team as before makes sense. Yeah, thank you. I hope I have fun. Which I believe was this, and yeah, so I do want Zhongli to provide shield for Yanfei. Oh, before I do that, actually, forgot. When I go into the Abyss, I do like to put on my own music, so I'm gonna do that. Whereas when I'm doing the story parts, I'm gonna put it back to the actual game music. little bit weak. Oh, really? You took the vaccine? Well, I mean, that's good. Was it the first shots or the second shot? Or maybe it's the one shot. I don't even know which one's which. I think Pfizer and Moderna are double shots. I got the Pfizer, and luckily for me, I didn't have any side effects. So I ended up feeling just fine, but I know it can be pretty brutal from what I've heard from other. Oh, first Pfizer. Okay. Yeah, that's the same one I took. So, yeah, like I said, I've heard like Moderna and Pfizer, both of them. I'm not sure which one I've heard more stories about, but they both seem like if you're unlucky, you can just get hit pretty hard. And, that sucks. Okay, and yeah, this is the team I took. No artifact. Oh, just the XP and Ascension. Oh, for Mona Lisa. Oh, yeah? Because, yeah, I think you got Mona Lisa recently, right? And I don't know how built you have your Lisa, but yeah, now you got that team ready to go. Or I guess you still need to farm artifacts, I'm guessing, but at least I'm guessing they must be fairly high level by now. Damage 20%. That one's pretty good. But I kind of like just the straight up 20% damage buff. Or attack buff. And I am going to... music. Alright, so I guess what I should do is Diona, Shield, Bennett Burst, Ganyu Burst. Or, okay, well, maybe not Ganyu Burst so much. I'm gonna need to have Bennett do some DPS duty. Okay. Bennett's Burst. Okay. Here, let's use her burst to take care of the Hilichurls. And in the meanwhile, we can use Bennett to take care of the slimes. Okay. I'm using that for the decoy aspect rather than any sort of damage. Okay. Okay, let's use that, and let's use his burst. Okay, and put up that shield. Man. Well, at least Venti's sucking as hard as usual. So that's good. Oh, let's do that. And use his burst. Yeah. Venti suck again. And yeah. Use burst. He now uses burst. And let's use Ganyu auto attacks. That should do plenty of damage. Nice. And okay, we got the Cryo Abyss Mage. Gonna use... Oh, good thing to put on that shield. Also, it just occurs to me, maybe not just, but I've noticed with Venti's sprinting voices are close to the same tier as Lisa's climbing voice lines. They are really, really good for a certain type of person. Yeah, I've noticed Venti is quite the panther. Okay. That. Eula's 90. Okay, 70 plus. And their weapons. Okay, yeah, so that's pretty good. For a degen, you mean? Yes, exactly. For a certain kind of person. You can just replace that with degen whenever I say that. I think you can just safely assume. And by a certain kind of person, I mean my kind of person, as in me. I really just mean me when I say that. So, yeah. Exactly, a man of culture, a degen of culture, you might say, which is an oxymoron, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, let's go with this. Oh, I should use his E for the energy recharge. But it's a shame that Venti is a trap because, as I've said before, I'm not really into traps. But Venti has really good design. And his voice lines, like I said, appeals to a certain kind of person. See. So let's... Don't target the systems! Yeah, that's... The targeting system really is annoying when you're dealing with assistant mages and fighting using a catalyst user. Okay. I'd love to get her burst up, but oh, this is a good idea. I need to remember to use Zhongli's burst because the fact is his burst doesn't do a whole lot of damage for me, so I end up ignoring it pretty often. But its support ability with the ability to freeze enemies in place, it's huge. Also, I don't think I'm gonna get 3 stars on this chamber on this run. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh shit. Yeah, it's probably not happening. I think it's like my Yanfei's just not there yet in terms of strength, and also I'm not good enough at using to make it work. Oh, come on. Also, handling these guys, right? But let's see if I can 2-star it at least. Drop that shield. God damn it. Freeze it. Ah! Goddamn freeze. Yeah. This is gonna be very hard for me to make this work with these two guys healing each other constantly. So what I'm gonna do is try to group them together. Ah shit, gonna have to retry. PSO3? I don't play Phantasy Star Online, so I actually don't know anything about that. 9997, nice. Oh really? You don't think you can get 3 stars on this floor? Oh right, because after this, they changed it to this version. I think you didn't manage to get 3 stars on 12.3, right? Which, I mean, it's very hard to get 3 stars on that chamber regardless. But I think you could manage, because still got a decent amount of time left, and you have some pretty strong teams, right? Like, and so you don't need to take them up that much stronger. I've noticed people use Bennett a lot for handling the Abyss Heralds. Okay, so in the second half of this chamber, one thing I'm gonna have to do is have a plan for dealing with the healers, because they are very annoying. So I'm gonna have to just go ahead and target them first, I think. Because the fact that they heal using Hydro in this cryo-focused domain, which let's call this a domain. I think it's close enough to a domain that it counts. Is just a supreme pain in the ass, right? So this really is the Bennett and Venti show, huh? Like, I can have Ganyu do some auto attacks to do some decent damage, but for the most part, it's really is, or yeah, Bennett and Venti. Yeah. Shield. Just do a lot of damage. Venti's ER is just so high that I feel very comfortable using his burst every time it's available. Okay, let's use auto attacks and then that. And put up that shield.
緒に遊ぼうよ。
Okay, got the shield down, and let's kill it. There we go. Alright. Sega goes crazy with Super Degen characters? Oh, really? Do you mean the characters themselves are Degen, or the characters themselves appeal to Degens? Because Genshin certainly, I would say, also goes Super Degen if it's the latter case. Even though they're pretty tame when it comes to costumes, they find ways to really accentuate certain perverse or degen elements, let's say, while still limiting to fairly conservative costumes. And I think that's pretty cool. It's like you're not gonna see anybody with the costume design of what's the name of the British woman in FGO? The 3-star British woman rider with red hair, voiced by Chiwa Saito. But you know who I'm talking about. You're not going to see that costume in Genshin, but you might see ones that are pretty degen still, just in very, very... Boudica, yes, Boudica, yeah. Boudica, not sure which. But yeah. Oh, the character creator. I see, that's what you mean. That's very nice. You know, that's one thing I almost wish Genshin had, a character creator. Obviously, it's a gacha game. You can't quite do that. But I think it would be pretty neat. Ara-Arama? I don't think that's the best Ara-Arama. I mean, I think there's only one best Ara-Arama. I mean, Go. And that one's a 5-star. And occasionally a 4-star. Not a 3-star. Alright, so for this, we got... I believe... The first one was a Sisson Mage, and then we had a wave of 3. The Sisson Mage is pretty manageable, but Yanfei's not a good choice because the Sissons draw her attacks. Wait, did something happen to the stream? Nothing's wrong with the stream? Okay, yeah. At least from my end, it looks okay. The bitrate. Let me just check. I'm gonna check my stream preview and make sure. Good. Yeah, it seems to be okay. So hopefully, if there were any issues, it's solved. So let me think. Let's use Chi-Chi. Here, let's start by using his burst. And using his burst. Your favorite Skahawk? Yeah, I guess Skahawk's kind of a mommy aesthetic. She's a mentor, right? Mentor aesthetic. Or maybe not mentor aesthetic per se, mentor who has kind of a mommy aesthetic. That's for sure. Oh shit. Oh no no no. Did Yanfei survive? Yeah, she did. Okay, that means we still have a chance. Okay. Okay, let's put up that shield and get Yanfei healed up because Chi-Chi is a godlike healer. Holy shit. God, Chi-Chi. Chi-Chi, you're so damn good. I love you so much. Except for your cryo dealing abilities, that's not so good. But, god damn that heal. Just completely negated the damage really quickly. Alright. Now let's take care of this Sisson Mage. Go. So now what I'm gonna do is try to shove these guys close to each other. Oh, god damn it. Okay, let's do that. And we get this going. Put up Zhongli's shield again. And yeah, try again, guys. I don't think melee attacks are really help your specialty right now. Okay, got that. Now, can I do this in the time allotted? Let's see. I have less than 40 seconds, but this guy does not have his shield up, so that's a big plus. Now, okay, I can definitely do this, but ideally... I was hoping to get some more ER for Jingchu, but whatever. Still got the 3 stars, so I'm happy. Oh yeah, I saw the Fate Grand Carnival opening. That was really nice. I was kind of impressed that they decided to go with the original song. Like, they didn't change it at all, and the animations are almost all beat for beat. You know, they keep the same kind of thing. Now, it's still quite different in a lot of places, but the fact that they stuck with the same song and the same basic opening structure, I think that really speaks to how good the original opening was. It's really, really good. The default character layout in the new PSO coming. Let me see. Oh wow, somebody created Cosmos in that? Or is that... Wait. Is that the default? Like, Cosmos is the default of the... Let's see. Get this going? Yeah. So this is the link. It's pretty thick, this design, but this looks a lot like Cosmos from... What is it? Beyond... Not Beyond Good and Evil. It was a title of another book by Nietzsche, not Beyond Good and Evil. But yeah, but you can modify it from there. So they clearly going after. I guess there's oh, here's a hypothesis. Maybe they saw the success of Atelier Ryza and thought people are really into thick right now. We got to go thick. So that looks pretty thick. Yeah, right. They don't have to pay for a new opening, that's for sure, right? And they don't even have to do a whole lot of new animation, too. Even though, obviously, it's all new animation, but they could just kind of trace over a lot of the things. Oh, a default Gundam girl character, I see. Yeah. Very protective. It's certainly very protective of certain very important parts of the body. Like the legs. Covers almost all the legs. Just a certain absolute territory that's not protected. Weak points? Nah. Physical resistance? Ugh, these are all kind of crap. These are all very crap. I guess I'll just go with that. But yeah, I'm pretty excited. I heard that the Blu-ray of Fate Grand Carnival was released already, and the second episode was out, but I haven't really checked it out. Yeah. And I guess they're kind of going for a Saber or Artoria versus Nero kind of thing. They're really rivals, which I guess they played on the first episode as well. But in the opening, they're really playing it on as well. The male version is just basically just the Gundam. Yeah, is it all protected? Alright, so for this, I don't remember what the enemies were, so let's just have some fun. I have 5 minutes to do this. Let's just have... Can you do a lot of damage? Right, Bennett's burst is not ready yet. I half wish that there was no burst cooldown, that as soon as you have your burst ready to go with the energy, that's it. You can shoot it. So, for instance, if you build a character with just crazy high ER, you can have them use their burst while their burst is going. So you can have Ganyu, for instance, double or even triple up on her burst, so you fill the entire arena with just icicles, just completely. I think that would be really cool. Yeah, kind of like how with FGO, there's no limit, right? If you can charge your NP up in back-to-back turns, you just back-to-back NP. I guess that's the thing with Genshin, is you can kind of overlap in a way that you can't in FGO, because FGO is a turn-based game. Let's see. So for this, again, I think I want to go Zhongli Shield, Jingchu E, then Yanfei. Oh, right, and Saber Lily, she just seems kind of like she's pretty chill. She's pretty happy, and that's with whatever, and that's sort of her character style, I guess. Okay, we got 3 enemies. Oh, it's this one. Okay, in that case, shit. Okay, do this.
先生いるって
もうええよ行くぞよいやそこ
Let's
だ
see, I have 3 and almost 4 minutes to take care of these guys, so let's make sure to do it safely and as efficiently as possible. Okay, got this guy. Now, I wish I could get Jingchu's burst up. That's the really low energy recharge my Jingchu has is one problem that I still need to fix. Oh. Do that. Let's use that for the freeze. You know, I kind of wish Yanfei had a thing similar to Hu Tao, where I believe Hu Tao, when you use her E and then a charge attack, it puts a seal onto the enemy, and then later on, the attack actually
明日前ここにて面
does like damage over time of pyro on the enemy. So you get kind of some free damage essentially, or not free, but you get damage without having to actually attack the enemy. And I think if Yanfei had something like that, that'd be pretty neat. Let's see, put up that shield. But I will say, currently, the way Yanfei is now, I'm really liking her. She's my first catalyst-based DPS, at least one that I'm using as a DPS, right? Because I have Mona, I have Ningguang, who I barely used as like an actual attacker. I only use her for farming or mining, and I have Barbara, who I haven't built as a DPS, but I'm really enjoying how Yanfei moves and how much damage she does. She's quite powerful. Oh yeah, the Knights of the Round Table, right? Cause they're like worshipping her, right? Or a picture of her. So yeah, should call them. Hey, careful how you use that word here. You want to say shrimp, not simp. But yeah, am I rolling on clay? I will roll on clay. Me personally, I will, but I won't roll hard. Because among the 3 5 stars that we know coming up, as in Eula right now, and then Clay and Kazuha, I like Eula the best by far, I'd say. Then Clay, then Kazuha.
片手に持つんだ
Things might change depending on how Kazuha's story goes, but I'm expecting not to really like him that much just because he's male. But I might be interested in Kazuha depending on the case. But either way, I'm still more in love with Eula than any other of those 5 stars. So I'm planning on pulling quite a bit more for Eula. But then I'll pull more on Clay, partly because I think her 4 stars are supposed to be very good. I believe the leaks say they're Barbara, Fischl, and Sucrose. Now I have Fischl C6, so that will be unfortunate if I get a bunch of Fischls, but I will hope for more Barbaras and more Sucroses. Yep. For Jean Banner coming with her skin. Yeah, I mean, there's always the hope that they have a Jean Banner up their sleeve, so to speak, after Kazuha, and they'll do 2-week banners, and we'll know if they'll do 2-week banners as soon as Clay's banner drops. So maybe, but you know, I'll make a game time decision once Clay's banner drops, just how much I'll pull for her. It'll vary based on how many Primo Gems I have, how much pity I have at that point, and what the rumors are saying for the next banners are. So I still haven't made a decision, but I will definitely be pulling some for her. Just don't know how much. Yeah, but if they are waiting to surprise us with that, then great. I'd be excited. Then I'm not pulling for Clay. Then I'm not pulling for Kazuha. 0 Primo Gems on each. It's all going for Jean. I guess that's the one case. If they announce a Jean banner at some point during Clay's banner, or if there are even rumors of one, then I probably won't spend any Primo Gems on Clay. Already say 15 rolls. Wow. That's a good amount. I guess the Abyss must have helped. As well as the events, right? It'll drop after Clay? Well, then in that case, maybe I'll only have like 300 pulls saved for Jean instead of 360, and I'll just have to hope that I get lucky and get her C1 in 300 pulls instead of 360. Alright, so for this, I'm gonna use same old Diona, Shield, and then Ganyu. Something like that. We got 2 opponents. Yeah, we wanna hear that. We get... Oh shit, let's do that. Oh shit. Ah, she put up her shield. Oh, can I get her sucked? Yes! She's sucked. That means I can... It's actually a lot easier to kill her now. Okay. That's the first half. Oh my goodness. Ganyu and Venti, they just make life a lot easier. A bit shop. Oh right, the shop too. The shop really helped a lot. Alright, so I think I have more than 2 minutes for this half, and I think it's just the one Frost Arm Lava Churl. I'm pretty sure of that. So, I'll have to focus on taking down its shield first, using Yanfei and Zhongli. So let's do that. Let's use Zhongli's burst. And use Yanfei's attacks to take out its shield. Nice! I managed to take out most of its shield even before it got a single attack in. Let's... Okay, good. Now, let's do that just for some preemptive healing. Use his burst and get some melt going. And vaporize, actually. Both. Yeah, I'd love to get Yanfei's burst up. Yanfei's artifacts not being all that built yet does mean she has pretty low ER. And of course, so does Xingqiu. But so far, when I team them up together, I will admit they're doing really good things for me. Just really good. And I think it really speaks to the power of the Vaporize comp for just how much damage they can put out despite not being all that well built yet. Like for general world farming, I find Yanfei with Xingqiu to be like plenty, like to deal with almost anything. You know, obviously not up to Ganyu levels, but still quite capable. Ah, put up its shield again. Oof, this might be hard. Okay, this is gonna be hard. Because I need to eat through its shield very quickly, and I don't have a lot of time to do that. I might, yeah, I'm not sure if I'll be able to 3-star this on this run, but let's try. Oh, okay, maybe I will. There we go. Okay, just as I was saying, Yanfei and Xingqiu, they're kind of monstrous when they're together, and I'm sure Xingqiu with D-Loc would be even more monstrous. Doctor's Top Hat, Gladiator's Nostalgia. Utao, against this boss, you often kill him before destroying his armor. Oh, really? Does the pyro damage just eat through his armor? Or it bypasses his armor while also eating through his armor? So it's like the best of both worlds. Which I guess Yanfei sort of did, but Yanfei is obviously nowhere nearly as powerful as Utao. 23 seconds. Wow, 470k. Alright, so I have a couple of conductor's top hats here. I think I kept this one just because it has healing bonus and HP percentage, but overall it's a pretty bad piece. This one's even worse. So this one at least has defense percentage. This one has flat defense, and this one has HP percentage. It has flat HP. And I'm gonna check the Berserker's piece. It's trash. But being a Berserker was an uphill climb anyway. Any good artifact? So I actually got a pretty good artifact earlier after I beat floor 9. Let me see. It was a conductor's top hat. But I haven't been farming artifacts because I've just been really farming talent books and weapon material. Yeah, this is the one I got after beating floor 9. And this one, it's not god tier, but it's really good. Now, the simple fact is, we all know, once it hits level 20, it's gonna have rolled flat defense at least 3 out of those 5 times. At least. Most likely 5 out of 5. But, right now, we can enjoy the false hope that this potential gives. Because if it rolls into crit rate, that's the best case scenario. If it rolls into attack or elemental mastery, those are both good. Elemental mastery is good on this set. So, it's not as good as crit rate, but it's useful. So it's got 3 good stats, but we all know defense it's gonna roll into flat defense. But like I said, it feels nice to at least hope. Hope. Also, yeah, I'm gonna continue and finish the Barbara storyline because I only have that one ending left. Yeah, Barbara is very good, Civ. I'll agree with that. Never go wrong with Barbara. Earlier today, I did commit to triple crowning Barbara. If I get C6 Barbara, I will, at that point, focus, not fully, but certainly a decent amount on triple crowning her and building her as DPS. So I guess it's here, and it's gonna have to choose something to do with the chili brew ingredient. So, looks like already that one's in progress, so let's go there. Triple Crown Noelle? That's gonna take a little longer. Noelle, I don't enjoy playing nearly as much. I guess I don't particularly enjoy playing Barbara as much either. It's just that the role that Barbara fills she does way better than the role that Noelle fills for me. Which Noelle, she can fill many roles. But I primarily think of her as a healer/shielder, or shielder/healer, I guess, if I'm going with the order of the most important thing. And in terms of shielding or healing, she's not nearly as good as some of my other characters. Okay, I've already seen this. And as a damage dealer too, maybe one day once she sees 6, she could do a lot. But I don't really like Geo that much, that's one thing. I'm not a huge fan of the Geo. Yeah, C6 Noelle, right? Once I have C6 Noelle, she could be a pretty potent DPS. And I would like to play her as a DPS when she's C6 one day. Definitely. But triple crowning? I don't know. I think I'll be happy enough with her at 999. Or I guess technically 9 excuse me, 9 12 12 with the extra buffs. Okay, so this is the one where previous yeah, I need to select the chili brew, but in order to make it split to the top one, I need to make
そうだ
sure
必要な量新鮮な絶雲の唐辛子が取れるところは知ってるけどよし二手に分かれて
I think last time I might have chosen stick together because of course I'm going to choose to stick together if Barbara's asking me. So despite all my instincts telling me to choose this, I'm going to choose this so that I can unlock the last one. Oh no, you accidentally... I've done that. I've done that. I've accidentally leveled up characters' talents. Luckily enough for me, I've never done it with like level 6 or up, but I've definitely done that. I'm like, oh shit, whoops. Okay, I guess I leveled up her talent now. Because what I do is intend to click on the talent book button so I could immediately go to the domain, but instead I accidentally just level it up.
じゃあ私
Yeah,
は
I've done that.
ささやきの森でスイートフ
Did I
ラワ
enjoy
ーを買っ
Barbara's
てくる
hangout?
から
So far, I've
あな
enjoyed
たは
it.
石門
Yeah.
の近くで絶雲の唐辛子を取ってきて
I will say though, the part with the fans in front of the cat's tail, it's a bit short and simple, not that interesting, but the other parts which I did before are good. And I commented on this when I was watching it earlier, but I noticed in the English dub, they all say literally Barbara Sama. Like, they say the Sama, even though this is a Chinese game, they use the Japanese version. I haven't listened to the Japanese dub of that. And the Korean dub, I noticed they actually don't use Sama. They do use, one of them does use Sama, which the Korean version is Nim. They say Barbara Nim, or she says Barbara Nim. And the two men say Barbara Shi, which is more Barbara San. So I'm not sure what was going on with all the translations. I mean, when you're translating a game into three different languages from one base, all for day one release, you're bound to have a lot of
一応お休みを半日取った
issues
け
that
ど
you have to deal with,
外に
and
出る
so
とき
I
は
don't
必ずシスター
particularly
ビクトリア
blame
に
them
行き
for
先を伝え
all
なき
the
ゃいけないの
confusion, but it is something that I noticed. Half days leave, okay.
私は先にささやきの森に行ってるから
Okay, sure. It looks like this thing might follow every single one of the options. I'm just gonna check.
Close your eyes, clear your mind. Well, that's what I look like.
Okay, you might have heard that. That was Siri. I think Siri, yeah, misheard what I said and assumed that I asked it for something. And I don't know. Oh, Siri must have assumed I asked her, what do you look like? I don't know exactly what I said that made her think I said that, but okay. Yeah. I happen to have my iPad on my desk. So, yeah.
何か用かしら
There is one of my favorite Genshin streamers. Her name is Tok Ellie, and I've given her a shout out here. Not that she needs a shout out from me, but here before. I think she's great. But she has a thing where she just has Siri available all the time, and she'll say something like, "Hey Siri 8-Ball, will this artifact be Pog?"
Probably not.
And Siri answers, and I think it's a really neat feature. I definitely don't intend on ripping it off or anything, but you know, I thought it was a really funny, not funny, but just like a fun little addition that she had to her stream. Pretty clever. I like it.
あら、さっき友達のために休みを取ったと思う
Herb
けど、
picking.
どうしてもでもそれもきっと理由あってのことなのよね。そう、
Kind of
じゃ
alive
あ安心で
because
きるわね。バーバルのことはお願いね。
we're
栄養
splitting
士
up.
そのことね。バーバラがモンド城ですごく人気なのはあなたも知ってるわよね。その
Several
人たちに
reasons.
とっては恋のつもりなんだろうけど、数が多すぎてバーバラの手に負えないことがあるの。仕事中なら教会の人が彼女を助けてあげられるけど。
Okay, yeah, this is the exact same reason she said as before. I'm just gonna skip over it. I've read this before. Alright, so now I'm gonna check if I actually did unlock that third. Yeah, I did. Good. So we can just continue. Looks like she's about a kilometer away, a little more. Where is she? Stonegate. Oh, that's down south here, right? Alright, so yeah, here's what I figure I'll do for the rest of the stream then. I noticed I have 61 resin, which is enough to do 2 world bosses. So I'll do 2 world bosses. I'll do child and... Or actually, I'll think about that for a moment. But I'll do 2 world bosses, but I'll mix them in with finishing Barbara's hangout and doing another one of Diona's hangouts, because as I've mentioned earlier in a different stream, I do want to do the hangouts on stream. Ideally, I like to do as much of the Genshin, like, limited content, or maybe not limited, but like story-based content and more higher production value content on stream rather than off. Like, I did almost all of the Hilichurl translation stuff off stream, because after I did a few of it on stream, I realized this shit's just like really boring fetch quests. There's not a whole lot there, so there's no real interest, or like for me personally, I don't find that to be that interesting to do on stream. So. Oh, you didn't get Eula's item yet, or yeah, but. I mean, level 9's pretty good, right? And are you out of the dream solvent as well? Because you know, you'll get it, right? Eventually, the boss will drop either the dream solvent, or one of the bosses will drop a dream solvent, or the item you need. I have so many dream solvent at this point. Begin to wait. How do you begin to wait? Aren't you technically always waiting? Yeah. That reminds me of a joke. I don't know if people these days still know, but there's this thing called Chuck Norris facts that was big when I was younger in the mid-2000s, where these were just completely fake made-up facts about Chuck Norris that painted him as the most awesome badass in the world. Now, one little known fact about these facts is that these actually started as Vin Diesel facts, not Chuck Norris facts. It morphed into Chuck Norris, and that it became way bigger with Chuck Norris, but I actually remember way back when they were Vin Diesel facts. But anyway, Chuck Norris facts has one where it's Chuck Norris does not hunt, he waits. Hunting implies a chance of failure, which is, it's, you know, it's silly it's funny. I like it. It's of how seriously it takes itself. Yeah, let's look for her. You know that too? Okay, good. I'm glad it's still around. Or it's still known Chuck Norris facts. Yeah, sooner or later, she'll have 3 crowns. Like I say, this game's a marathon, not a sprint. You know, you'll look back at this in November, and you won't even remember this. You won't even remember not having a triple crown Eula. So, you know, you'll get there. Soon. You'll get there sooner than later. I'm sure. Alright. Search for Barbara. Sure. Gives you no point of it. You yeah. I haven't heard that one. That one's pretty good. Like, and yeah, there's just such bizarre, funny things. Like, when Chuck Norris goes into a pool of water, what is it? Chuck Norris doesn't get wet, the water becomes Chuck Norris or something? I'm probably butchering the joke, but something like that. Which is like, that's not even really a thing, right? It's not really that badass per se, it's just a weird way of putting it. But just the over-the-top silliness makes me laugh. Okay, where are you, Barbara? Oh, I guess I'm not supposed to find her in this area. I remember when the map was just really this area. You know, I think at the very beginning of the game we started somewhere around here, maybe? Or no, here, and we basically worked, or maybe it was here. It was one of these two places because I remember we start on a beach. I think it was actually here, yeah, and then we go down this way. But then for a long time, this area was like the only part of the map that really was open. And at the time, this area seemed quite huge. And nowadays, it really feels so tiny, and I think that's both because the map has really opened up, and also because there's not a whole lot to do here now, right? We don't come back here anymore. It's like how huge Dragonspine is. Dragonspine is pretty huge, and it felt much huger when we were first exploring it. But now that there's basically no reason to ever go there unless you're farming, like, Star Silver or frozen meat, it just feels so tiny. Doesn't... Chuck Norris doesn't lie, it's the truth, that's right. That's pretty good. Try not to make a sound. They look so surprised. Are there fans? Oh, treasure hoarders. Even worse. Oh, they're bullying someone. I think it's time for us to save them. Maybe they'll... No, they definitely won't give us any adventure EXP or Mora, but whatever. Do a good deed for just good deed's sake. They're only treasure hoarders after all. Oh, Barbara. I like that little bit of confidence you have. I can't wait to build you as DPS. That's gonna be so fun. Oh, her as DPS with maybe Zhang Ling as support? Could do some good vaporized damage, yeah? Yeah, that could work. Alright. Yeah, sure. I guess you... The good thing I came along is I can beat their ass. Oh, and cool, I don't even need Xingqiu to apply Hydro to them.
気取りか野郎どもその女を捕まえろ慌てふためく顔を楽しませてもらおうじゃねえか
Seize the girl. Oh, they're going after Barbara, eh? Okay. Well, I guess you chose death. Yeah, let's get healing.
あれは神の目まずいですね頭あいつは厄介だ
She's just a girl. Have you met the ladies in this game? The two strongest... Also, what are these Hilichurls doing here? Strongest DPSs in this game are female. Arguably 3, if you count Eula, maybe? Y'all gotta update your, sexist stereotypes. It's the men who are weak. See Xingqiu here? I mean, he's strong, but he's a support, right? It's Yanfei here he's supporting. So who's this lady anyway? Keishan? Keisan? She looks like she's from Liyue, actually. Based on her costume. I guess her name might be Liweyan, which I guess means her name might be pronounced something like Kaishan? Kaishan? Oh, she is from Liyue. Yep.
モンドへは商売をしに来たのですが、途中で宝刀団に遭遇してしまい、ここまで連れてこられてしまったんです。あなたたちがいなければどうなってたことか。そうだ、何かお礼を差し上げなくては。宝刀団にほとんど奪われてしまったので、手元にはあまり残っていませんが、あ、私がリーウェから持ってきた
Oh, she does offer more. Okay, I was mistaken. But I think for the purpose of the story, I should choose either chili brew or sweet flowers.
危険な目に遭ってる人を見かけたら助ける人。それに私はセピロス教会の祈祷牧師。リーウェから来たあなたの安全を守るのは
She does have a very nice Japanese voice. I'll give her that. I think both her Japanese voice and her Korean voice fit her in different ways, which I think is something that Yanfei has, because Yanfei, each of the different voices is actually very different from each other.
いえ、助けてくださったんです。どうか礼をさせてください。それにこれらは貴重なものでもありませんし。
I also kind of like this. These two are very much in character. Now, I don't know Keishan at all, but being that she's a merchant from Liyue, and Liyue particularly being a very merchant or trade-heavy city, it makes sense that she would insist on repaying with something like Mora or other goods that are, you know, equivalent to Mora or something like that. Eula's E, really 50k. Wow.
そう、わかったわ。
Maybe you could hit 100k. That'd be something to shoot for. If you're only at level 7, still got a lot of upgrading possibility. Leeway chili brew.
があったら私もスパイシードリンクを作れるし。
I guess I'd rather have the sweet flowers.
冒険が得意なあなたなら私よりこういうことにはな。ここは任せていい？
確かに冒険者の方がこういうのには慣れてるでしょう。リーウェのスパイシードリンク、良質なスイートフラワー、モラ、どれにしますか？
Here you can hear that it's called Liue no spicy drink, which is Japanese for Liue's spicy drink, rather than chili brew. But I kind of like how they went with chili brew as the translation. That works. That works very well. So yeah, I wanted Barbara to make me her drink, so let's go with the sweet
そうだ
flower.
ったんですか？スイートフラワーでスパイシードリンクを作るなんて、同じ種類の飲み物で
Get
も
another.
やっぱり
Huh?
モンドとリーウェでは作り方が違うんですね。はい、スイートフラワーをどうぞ。これらはどれも
本当に良質なスイートフラワーだね。これでスパイシードリンクを作る材料が揃った。
No, it just occurred to me. It's been a while since I've had lightning hit me, or even come close to hitting me. And I wonder if MiHoYo changed the, whatever mechanism they used for lightning in one of the recent updates. Because I feel like at like 1.2 or something, they added lightning strikes that could hit you. Either that or maybe they adjusted it or something. And I saw streamers getting hit all the time. I got hit, not all the time, but I was almost hit many times. But recently, I haven't had any lightning come close to hit me.
城内に着いたら冒険者協会の隣スパイシードリンクができたら
Spicy
そこまで持っていくから。
Alright, head to the garden near the Adventurers Guild and wait for Barbara. I like that garden. I appreciate how I think there have been multiple story related stuff happening at that garden. And I don't know, is this the garden where the blueprint seller is? I actually don't remember, but I know there's a blueprint seller somewhere around here in Mondstadt. I've already bought the blueprints, so that's not an issue. But yeah, this is really pretty, and I really do want to eventually make a space in my Serenity Teapot that's somewhat like this. Obviously, I'm gonna have to wait until we can build paths, because I really want to build paths in my place. And I want to get a fountain, which I'm not sure if you can get one yet. I certainly haven't unlocked one.
お待たせ。スパイシードリンクできたよ。はい、あなたの分。本当？よかった。
It's so cute. I love the little hearts that they use for these. Yeah, got you.
私がスパイシードリンクを好きな理由はね、ちょっと恥ずかしいんだけど、最初はただ単に眠気を覚ますために飲んでたの。歌の練習をするようになってから 毎朝早起きしなきゃいけなくて、練習が終わった後には教会の仕事もあったし、両方おろそかにならないように
Wonder
し
if
な
do
く
they
て。
have
でも
caffeine in this world?
朝はやっぱり眠いから、寝ぼけて練習しても何を歌ってるのか自分でもわからなくて、結局それで朝ちゃんと目が覚めるようにいろいろ
Running,
試し
chewing
たの。
mint,
ランニングとかミン
fight
トとか
slimes,
スライムと戦うとか。
struck by lightning. Oh yeah, FF13. Now that's a game I haven't played in a while. I never beat that game actually. I got all the way to basically the final level. And I think I had to go on vacation or something, so I stopped playing it for a while. And then after I came back, I just didn't have any interest. Or no, it wasn't a vacation. That's a different game. What happened was I had to reinstall everything because I got a new computer. And it was like Final Fantasy 13, of course, it takes up like 60 gigs or something. And at the time, this was like 5 years ago or something, SSDs were much more expensive than they are now. So I could only afford like a 128 gig. And I think I wanted to use that space to install something like Doom, the new Doom game at the time, or something like that. So I decided not to reinstall Final Fantasy 13.
時間がかかりすぎて練習する時間がなくなったりしてたの。
I'll say Final Fantasy 13. Is it a rough slog to beat the game? There are two things that I really loved about it. One, character designs. Absolutely just fantastic top to bottom, I thought. Lightning, Hope, Vanille, Snow, everyone just really great. And two, the combat system. I was actually very impressed. It took me a while to really get into it, but once I got into it, I realized there's actually a lot of depth to that combat system. And it's very different from the previous Final Fantasy games, even though it was clearly derivative of it. So I would say out of any Final Fantasy I've played, other than Final Fantasy VII Remake, the combat system was my favorite. So that really got me to keep playing, even though the adventure elements were non-existent, right? There was no exploring base, and the level designs were awful. And yeah, just the story was partly confusing, partly just dumb, and partly uncompelling. So that was another reason I just didn't feel like finishing the game. I didn't care that much about the story. Sumeru. Oh yeah, that might be the case then. Maybe we'll get... Oh yeah, I hope we eventually get to brew some coffee. That would be neat. Using beans from a certain place in the Tevat world. That would be neat. 13.2 was nice too. Yeah, I almost really do want to play 13.2, and also... They made a 13.3, right? Like Lightning Returns, I think? Unless that was the subtitle of 13.2. But I thought they made 3 Final Fantasy 13 games. But because of the visual aesthetic, which again, the character designs in particular, but actually the whole world itself I thought was gorgeous. And the combat system, which again I thought was fantastic, I am tempted to pick up 13.2 and the one after that. Yeah, 13.2 was with her sister, right? I remember that she was like the one really hyped up for the 13.2. 13.2 is great? Okay. Yeah, I am tempted to check it out. I have been a fan of the Final Fantasy blank dash 2 games, by which I mean I liked Final Fantasy X too. I was very surprised at how good a game that was, because the way it was sold, it was sold in a very shallow way. I thought it made it seem like the game probably doesn't have a lot of depth to the gameplay or the story or anything, but in fact it took everything from Final Fantasy X and just improved it by leaps and bounds. It's so damn good. Oh, 13.2 is not a super linear slog like 13? Okay, I mean, immediately that makes me way more interested in 13.2. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, that sounds really interesting. Yeah, I might check it out.
そう言われると照れちゃうな。あなただってすごく努力家なんでしょ。それにアンバーから聞いたよ。自分のあなたが経験したこと、 これから経験することは
But I mean, to be fair, Barbara, you've been joining us in our quest. Without you, we'd be dead many, many, many times over. You're not just a singer. You're such a badass singer that you literally heal us. That's pretty incredible.
役に立てないけど、治療が必要ならいつでも私を呼んで。
Oh yeah, E3. When is E3 anyway? It's supposed to be soon, right? Yeah, I wonder what Square Enix says on it. Oh right, I heard the rumors of Team Ninja, which is the development studio inside Tecmo that developed Neo as well as all the Ninja Gaiden games, are working on a Dark Souls-like game for Square Enix. I think you mentioned, Nat, actually, that they were working on a Dark Souls-like game, but I did not realize that it was Team Ninja. And that makes me way more excited, because Team Ninja definitely has their downs. Don't get me wrong, Team Ninja has missed many times, really poorly, but when it comes to a Souls-like game, I know they're very capable because they made Neo, and Neo was a very good game. Oh, it's June 13th. Right, yeah, your birthday. Okay, so that's 10 days from now. So, that's exciting. You'll have a very exciting couple of days, yeah? Could be a PS5 exclusive, alright. Well, I mean, that's all the more reason to get a PS5, right? Again, I'm definitely planning on getting one, and to be honest, I'm still a little surprised at how hard it is to get one now in June, but I guess it makes sense. Previous consoles, I feel like it took like a year maybe before they really got easily available. And I imagine nowadays it's even worse because the pandemic means more people have been gaming and more people have been wanting to game than before. Oh, and right, FF7 disc 2 and 16. Yeah, I guess those... Yeah, Square Enix will definitely have to announce something about Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2, right? Are they really calling them Disc 1, Disc 2, Disc 3? I guess that sort of makes sense given the original, but... yeah, I didn't know if they were going to be splitting them up kind of in the same places as the original discs. FF15... Wait, isn't FF15... the one that was released a few years ago? With all black? Or the characters aren't black, they all wear black. And your main character's a prince or something, and you go on a road trip across... Whatever, I actually didn't play it. I was kind of waiting for it to come out on PC, but then I guess I kind of lost interest too. I thought that was 15. Oh, you mean 16. Okay. Right, I guess whatever's coming up after they... Yeah, I wonder, because have they released a mainline Final Fantasy game on Xbox? Of course they released them on PC, but I can't remember if they released any main Final Fantasy games on Xbox. Okay, got this. Okay. 4 out of 5 endings. I thought that was the 5th ending. What happened? Huh. Interesting. So this is a branching path that splits, but then depending on what you choose here, it goes back to one of the endings that I already unlocked. Let me just check again. So this is, yeah, I thought this looked familiar because I already unlocked this ending before using this route. Oh, so that's why this thing went this way anyway. Alright, in that case, here... I guess I have to do the combat again, and it must be based on what I choose after beating everyone. Oh wait, they already have a trailer for 16? I didn't know there was any sort of announcement like that. Yeah. I'll probably check it out. But yeah, I haven't played a proper like adventure RPG like a Final Fantasy in a while though. I guess I mean, I'm playing Final Fantasy VII Remake now, but what was the last one I played? I played Tales of Vesperia
誰だ
a while
俺たち
ago.
の邪魔をするのは。
その人を
But
離して。
before that,
英
I
雄
think
気
I
取
played
り
Final
か。
Fantasy 13, but like I said, never did
その
beat
女を
it.
捕まえろ。慌てふためく顔を楽しませてもらおうじゃねえか。
むずいぞ。バーバラが狙われてる。
And I haven't
心
played
配しない
any
で。
of
これで
the.
も神の目を持つ者。
I know recently
あの人たち
there
の相手は
has
できるよ。
been like an
あなたは
attempted
あの少女を
revival
先
of
に
that
助けてあげて。
genre, but I guess ultimately I don't find that genre all that interesting. It's the turn-based combat that just ultimately doesn't
何
really
ビビってんだ。
interest me.
たかが女じゃねえか。神の目がどうしたってんだ。こっちは人数で勝ってんだ。一気にかかってやっつけるぞ。
He-
短所鉄拳。
And so that's one reason why I was very impressed with Final Fantasy 13, because it is turn-based, but it sort of isn't. It's real-time. It has enough real-time
本当に
components.
なんとお礼を言ったらいい
And
か。
the way I like to think of it is that your entire
私はリーダーからの商人
team
です。モンドへは商売をしに
is
来たの
almost
です
like
が、
its own character, and each character you're treating as a weapon.
途中で砲塔団に遭遇して
and
しま
just
い、ここまで
mixing
連れてこら
things
れる
up
あなたたちがいなけ
properly
れば
with the
どうな
order
っ
of
てたことか。
things
そうだ。
in Final Fantasy 13 mattered a
私が
lot.
リーダーから
So there was a lot
お
of
礼だなんて。
actual
危
skill
険な目に遭っ
involved.
てる人を
Maybe not a
認め
lot,
たら
but
助け
certainly
る。人として
a
当然
decent
のことが
amount
したまで
in
ね。
those combat
それに
segments
いえ、
where your
助けてくださ
direct
ったんです。
input in
ど
what
う
your
か
character
礼をさ
does
せてくだ
actually
さい。
makes a big difference in how the combat scenario goes. Whereas in previous Final Fantasies, to me, it felt more like
わかったわ。
it's a matter of
で
how
も
much
私
grinding
も
did you
ど
do,
れを選べばいい
or
か。
did you set up the right, attacks in the right slots and everything,
リー
or
ウェの
do you
ス
have
パ
the
イシ
all
ードリン
do
ク
you have
も
enough
いいそうだ。
potions or
冒険
whatever?
が得意なあなたなら
And I find that
私
sort
よ
of
りこういうもの
gameplay
には
much
慣れ
less
てるよね。
interesting than something like Final Fantasy 13 or Final Fantasy 7 Remake, where yeah, the moment-to-moment input of you as the player in terms of determining which actions you take with which characters really has a huge impact. And I guess
一番いい
that's
と思う
another
もの
thing
を
that
選んで。
Genshin Impact does really well. The order of things makes a huge difference, and the timing in terms of which characters you use and which abilities you use at a certain time.
確かに。
So we've already seen this. Last time I chose Sweet Flowers. Let's go with Mora, see what that
こんな
results
生
in.
々しい報酬でいいんですか？どうやら経験
Tales.
豊富な冒険
Oh
者
yeah,
さんみたい
Tales
で
of
すね。
Arise. I heard about that a new Tales was coming out. Fortunately, when I played Tales of Vesperia, sadly, this was way back when it first came out for the Xbox 360. So I had the American version, obviously, because I was a college student. I wasn't going to import like a Japanese version or whatever and then work through playing it in the Japanese. But anyway, it only had the English dub, which was a shame because I love Japanese voice actresses. And also, the PS3 version, which came out a little later, had an extra character, a little pirate loli, I believe, who was voiced by one of my favorite voice actresses, Chiwa Saito, who happens to be the voice actress for Jean and Tamamo and many, many other characters. Oh yeah, she also voices Boudica, who's a character I mentioned earlier.
モラをどうぞ。
And
助けてくださり、本当
yeah,
にありがとうございま
so
し
it
た。
was kind of a shame. But in any case, I still played through it in English, and I thought it was a pretty good game.
ほら、
But also,
本当に
I gotta
生
say,
々しい報酬だね。
the combat
さすが
system
経験豊富
in
な冒険
Tales
者。
of Vesperia did not speak to me, even though it was real time. It was very simplistic, and I thought it kind of took the worst parts of real time combat and the worst parts of turn based combat and stuck them together. And so that part didn't appeal to me. But the character design, the worlds, the actual adventuring, the overall aesthetic, absolutely, yeah, really good.
今日はもう遅いし、スイートフラワーを探す時間もないから。
She doesn't voice Jean. Hey, another great voice actress voices Jean, right? Maya Sakamoto, who I don't know actually if she was in that in Tales of Vesperia. I feel like she might have been. But yeah, it's so funny to think how this has been like almost 20 years since Tales of Vesperia came out. Chiwa Saito was in terms of the anime industry, a big voice actress then. She still is now. She's like 15 years older, but she still does voices very similarly to how she used to. Which, I mean, she's clearly a very skilled voice actress. I mean, you heard Senjogara Hitagi say that she's a very good voice actress, right? Yeah, and also same with Maya Sakamoto. It's just funny to me to think of how Chiwa Saito, one of her voices that you hear a lot, roles that she takes on is the loli character, like Chloe, right? Or I often like to think of her as Becky Miyamoto from this show, Pani Pony Dash, which was one of my favorite comedies from the early 2000s by Shaft. It was sort of their precursor to Sanada Zetsubo Sensei, which, quite frankly, Sanada Zetsubo Sensei is way better than Pani Pony Dash. But Sanada Zetsubo Sensei probably wouldn't have been possible without Pani Pony Dash. Wait, what happened? Did I get a bad end? Oh. Okay, Mora's not the best choice. Sure, that's what I figured. Okay, so let's go with the Liyue chili brew. That must be the final ending. Alright. Oh, my talents aren't even off cooldown yet. I mean, on the one hand, it's not such a surprise that my favorite voice actresses voice some of my favorite characters, but at the same time, it is pretty impressive to me just how often Chiwa Saito and Maya Sakamoto show up among all of my favorite characters. Like, because I fell in love with Jean way before I knew that she was voiced by Chiwa Saito. I think. Actually, I don't remember. Maybe I should go back and check the VODs from from September to see just how much I knew about the Japanese cast. Right, yeah, remember you mentioned Saori Hayami, who is also a legit, one of, I would say I like her a lot, but she hasn't been in a lot of the anime that I tend to enjoy, or at least she hasn't played the roles, but yeah, she is very good. And I think one thing is her voice, yeah, I always bring her up, but her voice reminds me a lot of, I think her name's Mamiko Noto's. Right, so this is the one I haven't chosen yet.
これにしますか？いいですけど、お口に合うかどうか。お二人いらっしゃいますので、2つ差し上げましょう。はい、これをどうぞ。
Okay, we got some Liyue chili brew.
のスパイシードリンク飲んだことないな。とりあえず飲んでみようか。
Oh, poor Barbara. Wait, is it just that much more spicy? Or is it, because I assumed your spicy drink was already spicy, Barbara. Was your chili brew just not that spicy? It's not. I guess I don't like it either. I have like literally 500 sweet flowers up my ass, Barbara. We just need to reach in there. We can make any drink you want. You have no idea how many ingredients I have on me. It's stimulating. Okay, so Barbara likes it a little less stimulating on the tongue. I'll keep that in mind. A little note for future reference, just in case it might come in handy. Barbara's very sensitive.
今日は付き合ってくれてありがとう、栄誉騎士。半日だけだ
Aw,
ったけ
me
ど、
too, Barbara.
すご
Let's
く
do it
楽しかった。
again. Next time, we'll make sure to make your
今度機
actual
会があ
chili
ったら
brew.
私がスパイシー
Yeah,
ドリンクを作
yay,
って
yeah,
あげるね。
exactly. Next time. Can't wait for part 2. Whoa, that was kind of a nice shot. That's really cute. Are they clasping their elbows? Kind of hard for me to see. I might have to check the screenshot later, but yeah, I wonder if they're clasping elbows. Might be. Alright, got those. Now, I am going to... I kind of want to try a solo of Ajaha, but it will have to be with a character who can heal, because I'm not good enough yet. Definitely not good enough to do it without a healer. So I'm gonna try with Chi-Chi again, because I tried it with Chi-Chi once and failed. But I know this is doable. I've seen people solo it, and I think I know enough about this boss to be able to pull it off. Well, let's give it a shot. See. Black sword. I could level up one of her talents right now. Oh yeah, how about I level up her auto attack? Chi-Chi's auto attack up to 7. That's totally worth, right? But yeah, let's give this one a shot. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm fine with the female MC. I'm all for Yuri ships. Even if I have to watch instead of partake. Ultimately, it's a video game. I'm watching anyway, right? Right, what are you gonna do? Look at that.
戻れ。
Oof. Okay, so I recall I saw somebody solo this, and it's good to attack its rear leg because its side-to-side attack is easier to dodge from its rear than from its head. Okay, let's get some stamina back. Oh, I can do this. Okay. Get stamina back. Oh shit, whoa! Oh, he attacked me, little bitch. Come out here and fight like a man! Or like a loli anyway. Head slam. Ah, okay. That one, unfortunately, I have no good way of dodging it if I'm in the wrong place at the moment when the attack goes off. So I need to just be very smart with my positioning. I learned that little double dash dodge. Oh shit, I thought I managed to dodge it. Okay, I'm gonna have to pay better attention to the hitbox on that. From watching Enviosity do a solo of this. You did a solo with Noelle? Nice! I might have to try that someday after I build her up. And also maybe with Zhongli once I build up his auto attacks and his burst. Oh. Ah, shit. I don't understand why her burst is not up yet. Like, been hacking him a bunch. Okay, are you coming up? Nope. There we go. Shit, let's get away from up here. Okay, shit. And the AoE on that's so big. But at least once you figure out that it's only 3 hits, it's fairly easy to immediately go in and attack it. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Okay. The timing on that's not that hard.
やまずい
Ah! Okay, I need to figure out a way to consistently dodge that. Oof. Okay, I'll save that burst for if I need to use it defensively. As right now,
もっと
between
早く
between her E and her Black Sword, and I think Chi-Chi also just has a passive. The healing is okay. Ah, shit.
諸行無常よへい
Who's the next character I'm going to build? I'm not sure, but I need to still farm artifacts for Beidou and for Yanfei and for Jingqiu. So, one thing I'm thinking is I think it's about time to build Diluc, because the times I've used him, he's been super fun to play. I don't know why he gets such a bad rap as like this dumb, big unga bunga claymore user, because I'd say it's not like his style is too technical, but there is a decent amount of technicality to getting the most out of him. And so I find his playstyle just really fun. So I would like to build him up. And I figure what I can do is farm artifacts for both him and for Yanfei at the same time. At the witch's domain.
もっ
But,
と早く
you know, that'll be still a little later because artifact farming is hell and I'd rather delay that. Oof, okay, I'm in trouble. Good for 1.6? Wait, what do you mean for 1.6? I'm not sure what's in 1.6 that's gonna be
もっと早く
that I'm good for? I guess? Yeah, I mean, it's like, I'm not planning on getting any new character. Oh, the AoE on that's pretty huge. Okay, I didn't quite realize how big the AoE there was. Man. With Ganyu, this phase does not last nearly this long. Oh, resins for 1.6 are for those characters? Yeah, I guess so. I don't really think too hard about the resin I'm spending, I guess. Generally, I do like to prioritize talent books and weapon materials because those are limited in terms of which days you can farm them. So on the days that I can farm them, I try to farm them. Okay, I think so. If I stay in the back leg,
もっと
I
早
got
く
that
先
dash.
制入店
Oh, I need to back up. That's what I need to do in order to dodge his side to side. I need to go towards his back. What are you doing? Yeah. Ooh, shit. Yeah, if I get clay, that's true. That'll be another reason to farm
まずい
the witch's domain. Or Mona Lisa and Eula, probably. Yeah, just gonna be farming artifacts for them, I guess.
もっと早く
Oh, where are you? Oh, coming out. Okay, let's get healing going. Okay, you can cancel the animation on her E fairly well, I guess. I kind of like the guy's tail slam. It's low and fairly easy to do. Oh, and Rosaria too. Yeah, I do hope you get her. Ooh. Maybe. Not sure. Do I need to go
いや
in
そんな
towards the tail?
先制入店
The timing on that's not too bad, but I did fail once earlier.
もっと
This way.
早く
Ah, okay. I really wish it was easier to see, like, clearly the actual area of the damage. Like here, you can clearly see the boundary of the damage, right? Maybe not clearly, but it's made pretty explicit. But yeah, dodging that one side-to-side attack, it's definitely the attack that gives me the most trouble. Let me heal up a bit, and oof. I'm also, yeah, not sure how I'm gonna be able to handle that attack. Because the AoE is so huge that I can't possibly get out of the way if I'm close to him, and I can't hit him unless I'm close to him. Oh yeah, you managed to unlock everything in your housing? Nice, congrats. Still have a ways to go on that. But I'm pretty happy that I got resin. Right? Pretty nice. Ooh, what? What is with this? They're overlapping like crazy. Yeah, it's that head hit part that really gets me. It's the AoE is huge. I think I have the timing for that mostly down. Ah, okay. I'm gonna die. Oh no, okay. Yeah, so that's... So with Chi-Chi, the trouble I have is that I can't get out of his attacks fast enough. And I still haven't figured out how to dodge his side-to-side attack consistently. So, let's not do this with the solo, but let's also not use Ganyu. Because Ganyu does make this easy. It's just like too easy. But how about we bring 2 shielders, healer, and yeah, let's have Beto just kick this guy's ass. That is how I beat him for the first time in melee mode. But yeah, I still definitely want to do a solo. I'm not sure if I'll be good enough to do it with Chi-Chi at some point, because Chi-Chi is one of the slowest characters in the game. But I do believe I have to believe it's possible. I used that defensively. Maybe I should have tried to counter with Beta. To get Beto's counter up. Oh shit, I didn't want to use Diona's E again there. Oh no, he's doing that. Okay, so when he turns a bit to the side like that, I need to recognize that he's about to go underground. And he is vulnerable when he's going underground, so I need to take advantage of it. Which, by the way, one thing I hate about Geovishap hatchlings is the fact that they have iframes when they go underground. It just does not make any sense to me that they'd make the... Oh shit, I didn't mean to switch to him. That they would make that part of their attack make them completely invulnerable during that part. Oof, shit. Let's do some superconduct damage. Okay. Head slam. Okay. Oh, I don't think I got the full counter on that. No, I didn't. Thought he was gonna do a different attack. Okay. Okay, that one I got a full counter just in time too. Yeah, that's a good way to use Beta in this situation. Oh shit. Man. Carry AoE on that, so huge. Zhongli's shield, it's just like, nope. Yeah, I guess one thing is also with Chi-Chi, She doesn't shield, so she has a lot of trouble in phase 2 and 3 of this boss because of the fact that shielding matters so much. Because for that failure in the last attempt for me was due to the damage over time, which I didn't handle very well because of the fact that after you get hit, when you don't have a shield up, if you get hit without having a shield up, you end up getting that damage over time. And again, Chi-Chi has no way of shielding herself. Okay, let's just use that. Why the fuck not? Just use it defensively. Okay. Ooh, Cryo. Does that mean he might be easier to superconduct with the Electro, maybe? I don't know. Let's find out. Healing. Yeah, with 1.6, I really am. I think one of the things I'm most excited about is getting paths in the housing system. Just being able to build paths and actually have some sort of structure to the area. To me, that seems pretty huge. Come on. Okay. Use that defensively. It'd be great to do a Beto solo of this, but the trouble for me is that Beto has no heals, so I'd have to play perfect, and I am certainly nowhere near perfect on this fight. But the fact that Beto can counter makes it makes a huge difference for this fight. Use that defensively. Okay. So fire and ice, huh? Oh shit. Oh right, I forgot it's doing this. Okay, so let's heal that. Especially since what I really want to build in my Serenity Teapot is stadium or an arena of sorts. Maybe not quite a stadium or an arena per se, but some sort of athletic area and a place for spectators to watch. And for something like that, it would make a lot of sense, at least in my view, to have paths that lead people to certain places, that give them access to the bathroom, or to stands that sell food and stuff like that. So, yeah, for me, that's something I feel like will make a huge difference in what I'm able to do. Ooh, Dream Solvent! Sweet! Got one. Yeah, Coliseum. I don't think a Coliseum will quite I'll quite be able to make a Coliseum per se. But something where people can watch sporting events. It's trash. Trash. Yeah, pretty much trash. Yep. But hey, I got a Dream Solvent. And a bunch of the weekly boss drops. So that's good. I'll take it. No Eula skill? I mean, what do I care? I don't have Eula. Speaking of which, you know, let's see. I'm just gonna check my history, what my pity is, because I do plan on doing more pulls for Eula. I know she's gonna be gone after this Wednesday or something like that. So I still have about a week left. Less than a week, actually. I think I have like 5 days. But it looks like I have 29 pity, so that's not that much pity to lose if I end up losing it. So I think, yeah, what I'm gonna go ahead and do is do pulls today and also do pulls on Saturday or Sunday. Let's say Saturday. If I end up streaming on Sunday, which I might not, but I also might, depending on the case, I just won't pull then. Because I feel like again, like I said, oh yeah, the 4 stars here also would, any more copies of them would be great. I only have C1 Jingchu and C2 of the other two. Maybe I have C3 Xinyan? I'm not sure. But yeah, the 4 stars are really one of the major reasons. And also I'd be very happy if I got Eula. But hey, also, even if I get Eula, guess what I got a drop of? A fucking Dream Solvent, so I can just convert. Not that hard, yeah. Plus, it'll take me ages before I could even get up to 666 anyway. At which point, that's when the weekly boss drops start mattering. Come on, I'm pulling until I get a 4-star character. Or any character, I guess, because if I get a 5-star character, I guess I'll stop as well. Looks like we might be going into full hard pity for 4 stars here. Let's find out. I think we're 2 pulls away from hard pity for 4 stars, or maybe this one's the soft pity. Oh yes, that's excellent. That is excellent. That's what I wanted. Among all the 4 stars in there, Jingchu. Now he's C2. Guhua Sword Rain Cutter by 3 seconds. So to begin with, this has uptime of 15 seconds. So what, it goes up to 18? That's huge. Unless the 15 here reflects the upgrade, in which case 12 to 15 is also a huge upgrade. Either way, that's very good. Also, let me check the shop. Can I actually buy these? Okay, I still need to buy one more, but don't have the currency for that. I'm tempted to buy Barbara and Kaya here. Of course, I can only buy one, but Kaya being story locked makes a huge difference, and Barbara, of course. But I think maybe I'll just hope that I naturally C6 Barbara. Okay, I'm nowhere near pity for this, so I'm not expecting anything, but let's give it a shot. Nope. Okay. So build pity for the story banner. Now I'm gonna do 2 last things, which is 1, start on one of Diona's endings, and 2, do Dvalin. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna try a solo of of the wolf. I haven't really attempted anything like that on the wolf in a while. So what the kitty's like, and special cocktailing condiments. Huh. I'm really not sure what that one's gonna be. Yeah, so one of them is cat related, the other is cocktail related. But which one does this middle option split from? I really love this little area of Mondstadt, by the way, just this sense of almost of a restaurant district, right? Because Mondstadt City, of course, but if you look at it, it's tiny. It's barely the size of a small village, but it's supposed to represent a full city. So like this area is almost like, yeah, a restaurant district with some shops over there. Or I guess it's a commercial district, but I love these outdoor seating areas. And that's one thing I've definitely tried to set up in my own teapot. Alright, I've already seen this. Nimrod, I don't like talking.
お酒の
それはもディオナちゃんの
何それ。ただお酒が飲みたいだけの節操なしじゃない。酔っ払いどもめ。誰が猫だにゃ。もしかしてあなたカッツェルインの人間を見る。
あらお嬢さん、キャッツテールへようこそ。
Hmm. One ending that I did was kitties, and the other was drink related. I'm just gonna take a wild guess and say that it's maybe the middle one's also drink
飲みに
related.
来たの？あら、それはタイミングが悪いわね。
それにお酒を飲んでいい年じゃないでしょ。
Yeah, I'm a lot older than I look.
未成年なのにお酒を飲もうとする人はみんなそういう。
Okay, so Mondstadt does have laws about drinking age. So I guess Venti, everyone just knows that he's old enough. Not very few people know that he's really old, but I guess everyone just figures he's at least old enough to drink, even though he very much looks like a Shota.
まさかそこのおじさん
In
たちの
fact,
若
he is a
かった頃みたいに
The
酒は
Shota is more
大人の
about
ロマンだ。
character design
的な
than
妄想だ
age.
けで飲みたいだなんて思ってないよね。お酒の何が美味しいの？みんなして夢中になっちゃって。
はいはいディオナちゃん、この人は
ディオ
時
ナちゃん
間を作ってお店まで来てくれたんだから、なるべくよ。それにこれは店長命令よ、ディオナ。
わかった。ドリンクを一つ作ってあげればいいんでしょ。それじゃあなたのようにお酒に幻想を抱いているやつには私の特製ドリンクで目覚めさせてあげる。
I love Diona's personality now that I think about it. Yeah, that's one thing that's really attractive about her. How blunt she is about this. They could have gone many different directions with her personality, of course, right? Just even given her design. Her design to begin with is adorable and fantastic, but then tacking on this personality to it, it's a good combination.
今お店にはドリンクのベースも材料もほとんど残ってないの。でもベースと材料両方とも特別なものを揃えるには
Oh, okay, I think I remember this. Yeah, I chose one or the other. Well, obviously I chose one or the other. And so the other ending is probably the other option. So I think, I don't even remember. I think I chose flavoring. So let's try choosing base and then we can check after this.
どうやらもうすでに飲んだくれの素質を秘めてるみたい。
Plenty of potential to become a roaring
私の作る一杯
drunkard.
で目覚めさせてあげる。よし、じゃあまずはダダウパの谷へ行こう。
Dadaupa
特別なベー
Gorge.
スはそこで手に入るから。
I don't think we went there before. Let's, yeah, I'm not sure. Let's check. Still a mystery. But what's this? No. Oh, so it still hasn't split yet. Okay. Well, let's go to Dadaupa Gorge. Oh, speaking of Dadaupa Gorge, I saw somebody on Reddit post that, and this became fairly obvious as soon as I read it, that Dadaupa is actually a Hilichur, comes from Hilichurlian. Right? Because we got Dad / Dada, which means good / very good. And Upano describes an upward direction. And I think, is Upa by itself somewhere? No, I guess. So I think the person who posted on Reddit figured out that Upa means mountain in Hilichurlian. So Dadaupa Gorge means something like a gorge that's next to a great mountain, or a great gorge next to a mountain, something like that. Which is like, yeah, that makes sense. Dadaupa Gorge happens to be right next to Dragonspine, which is the biggest mountain in the area, right? I thought that was like a neat little insight that I never would have... Well, maybe I would have figured it out at some point, but certainly would have taken me a lot longer. That somebody pointed out on Reddit. Huh? A pretty neat thing that places named after Hilichurlian, much like how lots of places in America are named after stuff that Native Americans, terms that Native Americans use. Like Massachusetts, the state in which I live, is based on some sort of Native American word, I believe, or place. Alright, well, thank you for coming by, Nat, and yeah, have a good evening as well.
そこの鍋に飲み物が入ってるって。多分それはヒルチャール・シャーマンがあらゆる材料を使って煎じた薬草スープ。冒険者の話に、あとその冒険者はこんな話もしてたんだ。匂いを嗅いだだけで、あれが匂いと呼べるのかすらも判断できなかった。100頭のイノシシに鼻を踏まれたかのような衝撃で、一瞬で全ての感覚が吹っ飛んじまったってね。
Pretty shocking. He lost it. Wait, he actually did lose his sense of smell? Oh, poor guy. It's like those people who got COVID. So many people who got COVID lost their sense of smell, right? Unless, I don't know if their smell came back after they healed. Assuming they healed, because plenty of people, of course, didn't. But yeah, I know a lot of people lost their sense of smell.
大げさなこと言って、本当はただお酒が飲みたいだけなんだから。でも、ヒルチャールの飲み物でベースを作るのはいいアイディアだと思ったんだ。もちろん、あなたはスペシャルを頼んだでしょ。だったら安心して、今回のスペシャルは一生忘れない思い出になるはずだから。場所は冒険者のおじさんにマークしてもらったから、そこに行って探す。もっと奥の方に行こう。ここはダダウパの外周。
Alright, no, I'm pretty familiar with this area. I've been to that big ass pot before. Oh, nice. Okay, this is the one, and there are two endings. It looks like. So I've unlocked the route to get there. Let's do it.
でもきっとまた口先だけだよね。パパ、お酒を飲んだら自分の名字すら忘れちゃうんだもん。薬草スープ。
誰か来た。
Alan. Maybe is Alan one of the buddies of Diona's father? I think he's a hunter, I guess. Yeah, he's the... Okay, yeah, he's the guy who hangs out next to her father in Springvale.
デュラフさんといつも一緒に狩りをしてる。
あなたがここにいるってことは、パパもこの近くに？パパは？もしかして狩りが終わったからって、またお酒をいっぱい飲んでるんでしょう。
それだったら、むしろデュラフさん、一人でダダウパの谷に入ってしまったんだ。
Why would he do that?
最初は、デュラフさんが先頭を切って、この辺の狩りをしていたんだ。デュラフさんのおかげもあってさ、獲物をたくさん取ることができた。狩りは順調に終わって、僕たちも一休みしてから火を起こして焼肉をね。それと、少しだけお酒を飲んだんだ。あ、でも、本当にいいっすけど、お酒を飲んだ後、デュラフさんが谷の採用にあるヒルチャールの集落、それに僕らの手助けも不要だと。自分はカッツェレイン一族の血を引いているから、これくらい
I don't know what the deal is with Draft, but doesn't sound like he's got his head on straight right now. I don't know what's going on with him.
足の速い狩人を清泉町に戻して救援をよ。
パパのバカ。
Papa no baka. That's a good translation. Of course, I'm speaking as if they're translating from Japanese, but of course, both the Japanese and the English are both translations from Chinese. I'm assuming anyway. It'll be odd for them to write the original script in anything other than Chinese. Then again, they must have a whole team of translators that they collaborate with when they're writing to make sure that all the writing in all 4 languages that they dubbed the game in, as well as all 12 languages that they translate the game into, all work and make sense. They must have a dedicated team of translators just for that, huh? Too dangerous to go alone. Take this. Never did play that game, the original Zelda. The first Zelda game that I played, and still my favorite, is Link's Awakening. And I tried to play the original Zelda once, but I remember it just being too old of a game. It's like the game evolution from the original Zelda to Link's Awakening was pretty significant, pretty huge. And the original just, I could not get into it.
あとそれより重要なのが、私はお酒を飲まないからミスをしないってこと。
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of a pet peeve of mine as well. I'm not sure if I'd call it a pet peeve, but it does annoy the hell out of me when translators put in like modern, like current events. When they put in current events that are not at all mentioned in the original text, but they're sort of similar and related, right? And they just add it in because they think it fits. It's like, I can see the argument, but I think it's a bad argument for putting something like that in. They do. Oh, right, Osakabe Hime. Yes, the text that she has is so cringe. I think maybe a little bit of that here and there could have worked. But it's like every other line that comes out of her, it seems, has one of those, like, I don't know. I don't even know what those things are called. Pseudo-Japanese weeb English speech. Right?
ああ、栄養騎士じゃないか。君がそばにいてくれるなら安
It's
心だ。
it's
それじゃあ、ディオナちゃんのこと
it's
頼ん
awful.
だよ。
It's awful. I'm not sure how better to say it. It's just cringe. And I don't know that much about her original personality in the Japanese. I guess she's supposed to be a huge weeb nerd hikikomori, but
あなたも一
there
緒
are
に
better
行く
ways to
の
pull that off.
ダダウパの谷は
Not how
魔
she
物の
talks in
巣窟
Japanese
だ
at
よ。
all. Oh, really?
もし
Okay.
発見されたら、
Yeah.
すぐに放
I
置
mean,
されちゃ
I
う
can
から
believe
ね。
you, because overall, I think the localization of FGO has... I'll give it a B minus. Maybe a C plus. Yeah. One thing unrelated to the localization or translation quality that I absolutely cannot stand is the fact that they still, to this day, have this issue with lines that go more than text boxes that go more than 2 lines require you to scroll back up. They still have not figured out a way to fix that. And it looks like they just don't care at this point. And in my view, it's just unacceptable when you go, like, when you have like page after page of text and it's like every other line you have to press the back button to look at it, because otherwise you just can't read it. It's just bizarre to me that this is okay. But also the localization in general, it has issues that I'm not a big fan of. Oh, you can only tell how she talks by her voice sounds. I see. Yeah, but I'm sure you can tell a lot from that, right?
私は魔物を避けながらこっそりパパを探すけど、あなたはどうする？
Yeah, I'd rather defeat the monsters head on. That's more my style.
正面突破を選ぶんだ。
Exactly, I'm the
あな
honorary
たは
knight.
魔物の注意を引いてくれる？
No, I'm not gonna distract the monsters, Diana. I'm gonna kill them. They're gonna be dead. You don't have to sneak around them. You can just watch. In fact, you'll probably help me.
あのバカパパが
They're
どこ
gonna
に
be
行っ
dead.
たのかはわからないけ
That's
ど、
my style. I
と
don't
りあえず谷
I
の
don't mess
採
around
用
with
を目指そ
monsters.
う。
I kill them.
もし魔物に勝てないと思っ、よし、おしゃべり。
But yeah, like I said, I do think Genshin's generally been very good about localization into English and Korean. Again, not really knowing the original Chinese at all. Like, I know even less Chinese than I know Japanese, and I know very little Japanese. So, you know, there's that. But I'd say the English localization... there's multiple things that I can definitely criticize very heavily. One is making Paimon do third-person speech. It's just obnoxious, and it's completely missing in any of the other 3 languages. In the original Chinese, you'd never hear Paimon ever say Paimon. And same with Korean, and same with Japanese. But for some stupid reason, somebody, I don't know if it was the voice actress herself or if it was one of the voice directors, decided Paimon needs to speak in third person in English, especially since somebody speaking in third person in English, I feel like, is less of a common trope than somebody speaking in third person in Japanese, let's say. It might just be because I watch anime, or at least I used to, that I've seen more of it, but I feel like it's definitely just ill-fitting for English. And the second part is something that I think maybe it'd just be good to show, which is this.
Barbara-sama, 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 Barbara-sama.
So yeah, that comes from a video that is a collection of every single Barbara-sama during Barbara-sama's, yes, Barbara's, hangout event. That puzzles me why they decided to go with Barbara-sama. Oh yeah, not translation for the way Paimon refers to herself in Japanese. Oh really? Okay, I didn't quite catch that there was anything about the way she refers to herself in Japanese, so I didn't realize that. In Korean, at least, she doesn't really... There's nothing particular about the way she refers to herself. She just talks like a cute anime girl. And not in, like, the third person way. She just talks kind of normally, like how a normal person might speak. And I think that works. Just combine that with the voice. Because I think the Paimon voice actress in English is great. I think the quality of her acting is good. I think her voice fits. So just take that and remove the third person, and I think Paimon would be way better to listen to. Aww. Poor Diona. She's got such a bad alcoholic father. At least he's probably not physically abusive. At least that's my guess. He seems to love him. Like, and not in kind of a Stockholm Syndrome way. They seem to have a, you know, a familial relationship that's not too abusive. This isn't bad drunk acting. I'd say it's not too dissimilar to how I remember observing drunk people that I know are drunk. Oh, country bumpkin informal? Okay. Right, because Japanese has so many versions of I, right? I and me. Yeah. Country bumpkin way. Interesting. Yeah, I guess that part can be very hard to translate. But again, who knows what it was like in the original Chinese. Korean, we don't really have... We have two versions of I, really. One for kind of a formal way, and one for informal. And I think Paimon uses the informal one. But it's... People freely use both. Like, even within the same conversation, you might refer to yourself as 저. Well, maybe not within the same conversation, but when within, you know, a span of minutes, when you're talking to two different people, you might use 저 as a formal way to refer to yourself, or 나 as an informal way. And Paimon, I think, tends to use 나. Oh, no mask. Use oira. Oh, right. I definitely feel like I've heard Paimon use say oira or something like that, and I did not know that was I. No mask. No, Korean has no masculine or feminine when it comes to words, really. Like even like imoto, right? In Japanese that means little sister, right? And ototo means little brother. In Korean, we just have a word for little sibling, and then we add male or female. So it's literally male little sibling, or male younger sibling, or female younger sibling. We don't have separate words. Actually not the same for older brother or older sister, now that I think about it. We do have a word for older brother, oppa, or 오라버니, and one for older sister, which is 누나. I guess that there is gender in that case, yeah. But not for I, not for me. It's all the same regardless of who you are. It's just the most important part is your status relative to who you're talking to. Generally, it has to do with age, but also can do with like your job, right? Teachers and doctors and police officers, you know, that's pretty common among all East Asian cultures, I'm sure, that those people get a lot of respect. So you speak up to them. And same with grandparents, parents, older siblings, anyone in school who's older than you, anyone in your company who's been there longer than you or is older than you, you'd speak up to them. Hilly hog, huh. But it also might have changed in the last 20 years, you know. I've been to Korea plenty of times in that time, but I've never lived in Korea in that time, so there could have been an evolution, but I feel like that sort of part of language is one that takes a long time to evolve. So we might be in stages of that. But yeah, still, yeah, there's a certain way of speaking. Really hug. But yeah, in Korean, yeah, it's all about your relationship to the person you're talking to in terms of relative status. Okay, I think you're just adding hilly to whatever animal that you're thinking of. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think you're really... Baka papa. Baka papa. Okay, I'm excited to see what you're gonna come up with. Oh, I like this idea. Maybe this is where the split happens for the two endings. Let's just go with the draft one for now. Okay, maybe not. Or not that Diona's wrong? It is the herbal soup. Actually, draft reminds me a lot of... The way he's speaking reminds me a lot of one of my uncles, who sadly is an alcoholic. So, sadly he can't really drink in a healthy way. And I don't know if he drinks now, but last time I met him, 4 or 5 years ago, unfortunately he did get drunk, and it was not a pretty sight. But he spoke a lot like how Draft is speaking right now. So like I said again, I think this is pretty good drunk acting. Exactly, straight from the bottle. We have everything we need. I hope we have some side story at some point where we drink with Draft. Also, I'm kind of curious about Diona's mother, because I don't think we've actually met her. I don't think she's an NPC like Draft is. I wonder what's up with that. I wonder if there's some backstory. Maybe he wasn't such an alcoholic before something happened to Diona's mother. I'm also curious if Diona's mother is also Cat's line, or if she's human. Yeah, you bring your shaker everywhere. I'm really looking forward to Diona, or not Diona, Chi-Chi and Clay having hangout events. After seeing how cute Diona is in these, like I feel like getting to see Clay and Chi-Chi in this visual novel style head on. That'll be nice. It'll be cute. Jeff is just that far gone he can't even figure out that. Aw, but Diona now gets to see that he's...
今さら思い出したって遅いにゃ。ほら、もういいから。
He feels guilty about drinking.
これはうまい。少しだけなら飲んでもいい。
はいはい、少しでも一口でも一滴でもいいから飲ん。
Okay. That's a bit odd. Why did you lean down like that to glug glug glug? I'm a little disturbed. I would rather if Diona's animation was more like that with the glug 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 sound effect. I think that would be a little more appealing to me. And I would also find that one much more incredible than this, I think. Yeah. Cats have rough tongues, don't they? Like adult Paimon and oh yeah? Nice, good luck. I'd love to see that if you can pull it off. Adult Paimon. I've seen some versions of adult Paimon. I'll be honest, I don't find Paimon's design that attractive. And like an adult version doesn't really appeal to me in like a waifu way. But I think she does have a good design overall. I just don't find her that attractive. That's the only thing. I think she's pretty. Okay. I've been this drunk before, where I met the same person multiple times within the span of a few minutes. It's pretty damn drunk.
ほらパパ、酔いが冷めたなら早く帰ろう。
Oh, are you saying Paimon is the, what's that? The god? I don't even remember her official title. Something something god. Could be. Could be. That would be interesting. Is that what people mean when they say that Paimon's the final boss? I always assumed that at the end, Paimon would turn around and tell us, "Psych, we've been leading you down this evil path the whole time," or something like that. But maybe that's what they meant, that Paimon's the god from the very beginning. Could be. Like, nobody really knows what Paimon is, right? Other than the best travel companion ever / emergency food. And now he's talking about the herbal soup again. Oh, so that's how he ended up with it. That's true. She worked. Oh, so I do know that she has the same kind of color design, I would say. If you looked at the palettes of the Paimon and the god from the beginning, they definitely match up very closely. So that, yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even really think about that. But with the same symbols and stuff, huh? I mean, yeah, I can check that out.
慣れてるもん。それよりパパも元に戻ったことだし、帰ろう。エレンたちが待ってるよ。
I find it's sad. I don't like the word daddy anymore when a little kid is referring to her father as that. I really prefer papa. Daddy just has too many uncomfortable connotations for me. And that comes a lot from recently I watched a YouTube video of somebody reading out loud the entirety of the pilot episode of the new Powerpuff Girls reboot, which was leaked. Now, I've never been a Powerpuff Girls fan, but my sister was, so I caught a little bit of it here and there. But I was just a little too old for it when it was coming out. But it looked like an abomination, and it includes these teenage girls, because the reboot is of them as adults, but before that they show them as teenagers wearing the original Powerpuff Girls costumes and calling this big black man who, yeah, they changed the race of a lot of people, including the scientist, Daddy. And the woman who was reading out loud the script was saying this has really uncomfortable connotations when you got three young women dressed up like schoolgirls living with this one big guy calling him daddy. That it's just like very uncomfortable connotations that you maybe don't want to put into a Powerpuff Girls reboot.
ああ、そうだった。エレンもいたんだよな。すっかり。
もう大丈夫
And
な
of
ん
course,
だ
the
よね。
older that I get, the
もし歩
more
けそうにないなら旅人に
more I
肩を貸して
notice
もらったら
that being like daddy. I just don't get it. Like, I don't know. I've never been into that whole thing. It feels like the Western version of the Japanese Oni-chan fetish, but daddy is like, I don't know, it's not about your real dad, right? But you still call him daddy. It's just,
大丈夫、大丈夫。
I don't know.
問題ないから早く帰ろ
But you know what I always say? You can't spell nicest without incest.
う。
I think that's a very good
ディオナ、
good saying to live by.
つい酒を飲んでしまって。
別に初めてのことじゃないでしょ。酔った勢いで
Wait,
もっと変な
weirder?
ことをやった
Well,
こ
what
と
is
もあ
this?
るし。
What do you mean by
夜
weirder?
中
I'm
に
kind of
街にい
curious.
るワンちゃんを追い回して
Oh, okay.
犬チェールだとか叫んだり街の入り口にある泉の水をピンに入れて飲み始めたり狩人と忠実な犬チャールの歌を書いてくれってマイワイスさんにねだったり
Well, asking, I'm assuming my wife is a bard. Asking a bard to write you a song would be pretty cool.
ディオナ、その話はもう
Looks
や
like
め
he's
てしろ。
really embarrassed.
ほら。
それに比べたら今回のはまだまともだったよね
とにかく
Up a
薬草
creek.
スープが見つかってよかった。
Huh. Is the original saying up a creek without a paddle? Because I always heard the version that's up shit creek without a paddle. And that always made sense to me because if you're up a creek without a paddle, you can at least reach into the water with your hands and use them as paddles. But if you're up shit creek without a paddle, then you're gonna get shit all over your hands, and that's pretty shitty. So I always assumed that was the saying, up shit creek without a paddle. But I mean, it still sucks to try to paddle a boat without a paddle, right? Just using your hands.
うん
So that could be bad
あり
enough.
がとうパパ
Aw. Maybe they love. She does love him.
よく聞こえなかったが。
お酒の量を減らせって言ったの
Okay, so she's kind of a tsundere to her father, I guess.
ああ、もちろ
But
ん。
maybe I'm just overusing the term tsundere to describe that because it's clearly not a romantic love. But then again, maybe I'm not the one who's guilty of overusing it. Tsundere has probably been way overused in general to the point that I'm using it correctly. Baka no papa. Cute. Oh, I thought the story would end at that point, but I guess there's more. Talk to Alan. Review. There you are.
甘い。
ディオナちゃん栄養騎士無事でよかったずっと戻っデュラさん
大丈夫だ。ディオナと旅人のおかげで。エレン、他のものを集めてこい。今日の収穫。
わかりました。
ディオナと旅人も俺。
それもパパが。
あの薬草スープが役に立つならよかった。でも。
もう、私はプロのバーテンダーだよ。
Alright, we were originally here to make a drink for me,
私
right?
たちはモンド城に戻るね。パパ、あと、二度とあんな風にお酒を飲んじゃダメだからね。
わかった、安心しろ。それに、パパの酒壺はディオナが持ってるだろう。
Yeah, but there's plenty of alcohol at Springvale.
酒壺があるかもしれないでしょ。旅人、材料も揃ったことだし、キャッツテールに戻ろう。酒場に着いたらスペシャルドリンクを作ってあげる。あなたのお酒への幻想を
Shatter every
全てぶ
fantasy.
ち壊せるものをね。
酒を飲むと悪いことしか起こらない。俺も気をつけないとな。
I'm guessing Draff hasn't really learned a lesson or anything. Probably happens to him every time he gets drunk.
今日の収穫を数え終わったら出発できます。
Where's Diona? I think she might be back at Mondstadt? Yeah. Shadow over the Dopa.
いざ。
店に入ろう。私はシェーカ
Oh,
ー
I
をきれい
really
にして
wish.
パパの
Yeah,
酒
that's
壺
one
に入
thing.
った薬草
So I
を
really
取って
wish
ドリンクを
Cat's
作る準
Tail
備をして
had
く
an
る。
interior just like Angel's Share. Is it Angel's Share? Yeah, Angel's Share is the one that has the interior. And I also wish buildings other than your main building in Serenity Teapot had an interior. Even if it's just one room. And let's say you couldn't even place any objects. I guess people would complain, but that would still be way better than not even having.
どうしたのぼーっとして。
But
ドリン
ideally
ク
you
を
should
飲
be
み
able to
に来
place
たんでしょ？
objects.
それは私の体質のせいなの。簡単に説明すると、私これはバーテンダーとしてのプライドから言ってる
So
わ
she
けじゃ
knows
な
about
く、
this, huh? Because, yeah, I heard about this curse that
ど
Diona
んな
had.
材料やどんな製法を用いても、
It's bound to be
私が
delicious.
作ると絶対に美味しくなるんだ。だから、この体質を克服する方法を探してるの。
She calls it constitution. I heard it was a curse that somebody put on her.
この体質さえ克服できれば、私のドリンクであの酔っ払いのおじさんたちにお酒の恐ろしさを思い知らす。まあこの話はここまでにして、ドリンクを飲みに来たんでしょ。待ってなさい。必ずまずいドリンクを作って、あなたが酒場に近づくことさ
Yeah,
え
I
嫌に
think
な
you're
る思い出を
speaking in
作る。
contradictions here.
それも今日までにゃ。まだ試してない材料も製法もたくさんあるもん。
Fair enough. You're still working at it, working at sucking.
心の準備ができたら、ディオナのスペシャルドリンクを味わわせてあげる。
Diona no special drink. Is that the ending? Yeah? Aw, that's really cute. Alright, let's unlock her reward. Heroes Wit. I do like how they give awards that are related to the character you just had that interaction with. Helps you level them up. No floating circlet you can use for payment. Oh. Yeah, so she has a circlet, huh? She's got a hairpiece. She's got... What is it? She's got... Are those... I don't even know what you'd call the thing that she wears. I always did think that the bottom of her dress or whatever looked like diapers. But it's just poofy ultimately. It's kind of like bloomers. And not the Japanese style. She's got one thigh high on one side. On her right side. Yeah. No floating circlet. I'm actually a little surprised that... I mean, I don't know much about PSO's customizability, but I would have thought a Japanese game with character customization would have some sort of floating circlet like that. Haven't even gotten to the clothes. Okay. Well, that's pretty close. That's not bad.
流通のために作られた船は港に止まる。だか
Yeah,
らリーグ
so
は
yeah, the
あらゆる
hair.
富が沈着する場所だ。
The hair I can definitely see. That looks pretty close. And the face too, eh?
この景色を
Yeah, the
堪能
face
しよう
actually,
としたが
that's a pretty good spot.
旧友はもういない。
But the hair, you got it pretty well, yeah. The hair definitely. If you didn't tell me you were making Paimon, I feel like I'd look at that hair and think, huh, that reminds me a little bit of Paimon, yeah. But yeah, that's that's pretty neat. Are you a fan of Paimon? I actually don't know. I think I've mentioned, like, I like her design, and I think I like her character overall. But, like I said, not waifu. But I guess she's not meant to be a waifu, right? She's more meant to be like Navi. Just, more cute, less annoying. Although I will say, the time I played Ocarina of Time, which I've only played once, and I played it on GameCube way after it came out, I did not find Navi all that annoying. And maybe that's because everyone had hyped her up so much as being super duper annoying. But yeah, I just didn't find her that annoying. Not annoying in Japanese? Yeah, that's true, yeah. Good thing I don't play the game in English at all, basically. I think Paimon is actually I think she's perfectly fine in any other language, yeah. And quite frankly, she's fine in English too. It's just that one little quirk she has that gets on my nerves. Yeah, once we get to her origin, it'll be interesting. So definitely something I'm personally looking forward to. You know, it's not like I'm excited about it as much as, say, new characters to pull for or whatever, but just Paymon's been kind of a constant mystery that we've never really learned much about or really cared much about. So far, she's just our trusty companion who helps out with everything. She's also our voice because Mihoyo decided that the protagonist shouldn't speak. Kind of a mysterious decision in my opinion, but whatever. Alright, so this solo, I'm gonna try this with Kaching because Kaching is just stronger than Chi-Chi, and she's gonna be able to heal as long as I give her a black sword. Oh, whoops. But, of course, ideally I won't really get hit. Whoa, I just saw the inside of Kaching's face. There was a very quick moment right there where you could see the camera was in the inside of Kaching's face. Alright, well, since Kaching's not a claymore user, unfortunately I can't skip through these cutscenes. Because with a claymore user, if you start a charged attack right before activating one of these cutscenes, the cutscene will go on as usual, but you will maintain full control of your character. Okay. Of course my Kaching's built physical, but I'm dealing electro damage. Partly because I can't do any superconduct here. Ooh, right. Ah, shit. Without a prior user. It's been a while since I've had him do that attack, so I guess I just wasn't ready for it. Oh shit. Okay. Yep, that's the dash attack that got me last time. Okay. Good, charge attack hit. Another charge attack. This one. There. Good, charge attack hit. Charge attack, physical. Burst, iframes. And then charge attack. Extra crit. Get out of there. I think it really is the case that it is literally impossible to iframe through those attacks that create that ice area on the bottom or on the floor. Because so far I've literally never once iframed through it. And it's possible to counter you with Beto, but that's the only way that I can see to avoid damage there while still being in the area. It just... I think oh wow, you went into that phase really quickly. I think the time it takes for that attack to go off is just too long for the iframe of your dash. And I mean, you can iframe using a burst, but those are the only two sources of iframes that I know of in this game. Your dash and your burst. Is there any other one that I'm forgetting about? I can't think of one. But the burst, of course, is very costly. Alright, phase 2. Way more fun than phase 1. This is kind of a death or glory situation. But I like to attack its hind leg. Oop. Burst for the iframes. Whoa. Andreas just kind of disappeared there for a sec. Okay. Let's get some stamina back with auto attacks. Okay. Back with auto attacks. Oh. Oh shit, yep. This is definitely my favorite phase, phase 3. Those damn little mini wolves can be so annoying to deal with. But that's what makes this phase so much more fun than, well, not that much more fun, it's basically the same as phase 2. But that's what makes it more fun than phase 2 in my opinion. Phase 2 not having those extra wolves to deal with makes it just a little too easy. Ooh, 2 5-star artifacts. Of course, they're both probably going to be dog shit, but let's find out. There's a feather. We can look at these all substats. Yep, pretty much dog shit. Could be good for somebody who scales off defense, like C6 Noel or C6 Jinyan, I guess. Actually, this would be very good on either of them. Now that I think about it, this is actually a pretty good one for that. It's just that it's probably going to all roll into flat defense, which is bad even if your character scales off defense. I'd rather have ER. And this one, give me crit rate. Nope. Hey, it's got flat HP and HP percentage. But yeah, this one's trash. Yeah, all trash. But what I expected. And yeah, let's switch our weapon back. What were her stats anyway? 52% crit rate, 141 crit damage. Oh, the black sword would have given her way higher crit rate to the healing. But alright, I guess that'll be where I'll call it a stream. Let me do one final thing before I go though, which is just go to my Serenity Teapot and collect my teapot currency, realm currency, and then you know, do all that housekeeping. You know how it is. And in this case it's kind of literal housekeeping, right? Because Serenity Teapot is my house. Oh yeah, I was in the inside last time. Yeah, this place is coming along, I guess. I'm not sure what to do with the middle area. But one thing I realized, which I didn't know this until I just tried it, which is that you can actually, in a set, you can maintain a set while moving the objects within the set. I did not know that. So pro tip, if you did not know, you can actually rearrange whatever set you want to look like what you want, as long as it's all in the same area. And it's all in the same, you use all the same objects. So that definitely helps a lot for helping to make your own Serenity Teapot look unique. Because you can place sets, but also make them look like your own. Also, you can see I designed it so that immediately I have these thing access. I might want to move this forge at some point, because the reason I put this forge here is because I can forge, but it turns out you can just forge in this table too, which means you can just place that table there. I've already maxed that out. Hello, Tubby. I wish I could join Tubby for some tea at some point. It'd be a shame if that is never something that's available. And I'm really glad they're gonna fix up, like, improve these menus for the 1.6 update. See, maybe I should just go from the top down now, because initially I was just prioritizing all the stuff that I wanted. Still got plenty of stuff to do. Maybe maybe it's time that I started buying some of these. These are the most expensive, which is why I've been putting them off, but they do offer a lot of, you know, flexibility. Yeah, nah, I'll go for... Yeah, I can still use more Hilichurl stuff. Also, I hope one of the improvements they do is make it so that you don't need to go into the menu every time to read the blueprints. I don't see why there's a difference between buying a blueprint and reading the blueprint. Just let me auto-read it. Ooh! Oh, I didn't realize I was right on the cusp of 8. Sweet. Let's find out what the rewards are. But before I do that, let me just start crafting... I already have a heavy hail, right? Crafting the stuff that I just bought, which are this. Also, I hate the fact that it scrolls all the way to the top right after you select one to use. Yeah, pretty puzzling why they designed the UI like this. I imagine it was just sort of a default setting that they never changed, making it always go to the top. Kind of makes sense. Oh, I can switch room layouts now? Ooh. That's nice. Wow, I just... Alright. Pause. I'm actually curious enough to go into this right now. And when I'm doing this, it's always way better to use mouse and keyboard. Good. Trying to use controller for starting a teapot. I mentioned it before, but I don't like how MiHoYo treats PS4 players. I think it's kind of shitty how much they miss out. Not sure which one I want to do, actually. Emerald Peak looks really nice, but look at that floating abode. It looks sick, you know? Yeah, it just looks sick. I think I'm gonna have to go with this one, because the previous one I went for was Cool Isle, which is a little more plain, but I liked it because it was summery and beachy, and those are both stuff that I wanted. And Mountain, very nice, but it's also kind of similar in how it's more plain. I'm gonna go with the floating abode for the kind of the more fantasy setting. So I don't know what this means, if it's gonna reset everything and I have to start over or what. Let's see. Oh, let's pick up these. Ooh, Leeway House. Oh. From what I can tell, looks empty. Empty. Oh. Okay, so this is a brand new area for me, basically, and it's empty, which I guess makes sense. Could place one of these here, just for the points, I guess. I guess I could also... Oh, yeah. I could start placing some outdoor sets around. Oh. Wait. Are all my objects... Oh. Does it save it, though? Let me actually discard changes. Oof, I hope my layout from the previously did not get... I assumed that I would get... So my assumption was that I'd get a brand new area to put more stuff in, but it looks like it just transforms the area and it resets. But when you revert back to your old setting, okay, yeah, it puts everything back where it used to be, so you don't lose progress. Okay. Okay, it's not as cool as I was hoping it would be, but basically it allows you to create multiple different versions of your home rather than expanding your home further. Yeah, it's not too bad. Just would have preferred it the other way around. Yeah, there's an appeal to the whole parallel version thingy too. It works. Oh, let's go with that. So I got 2 new blueprints. The real stuff? What do you mean in this? Oh, Paimon bust size. Oh yeah, how big is her bust anyway? It's hard to tell because her character model is basically a baby, right? So she's not really supposed to have much of a bust. She's not even a loli. She's not even there yet. She's an infant. She's a baby. Total degen? Or hey, don't be knocking washboard like that. Washboard is just as degen as, you know, Big Booba. Just it's all about, you can always find a way to degen, right? And I think washboard, in my personal opinion, that would be the way to go. You know, I guess. Well, yeah. I mean, to be honest, I like having a little bit. Like Kaching, I think has the right size, as well as Mona. I think Mona and Kaching strike a good general balance. Also, maybe Sucrose? Sucrose, it's harder to tell because her outfit's not that revealing. Whereas, in terms of the big booba in this game, she's probably up there, right? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. Okay, I did not... I must have forgotten because, holy cow. Okay, yeah. Whereas, hers is like... It's like a... How do you say? A handful. Which I think is a good size, but personally I like him even a little smaller than that. I guess Sucrose looks even smaller than Mona now that I think about it. Now that I look. But yeah. Also, oh, right. Control switches to walking. Let's see, I can't... But yeah, okay. Now that I've taken care of... Oh, there was one thing I noticed that I should do, which is the... How do you say? The transformer. Yeah. Parametric transformer. Which I haven't done yet. So... I think it just unlocked today or yesterday. I don't keep up with it in terms of doing it every single week on the week or whatever. Because it's one of those things I kind of do like doing on stream. And... it's mainly because I kind of like having a recording of the results. Just to see, in case something, if there's anything crazy that happens, I feel like it'd be nice to have a recording of the results. Okay, good. But after this, I will end the stream, because I have been going on a little longer than I intended, but the nice thing is, since I did start relatively early, it's still relatively early in the evening for me, which is good, because again, I need to wake up early tomorrow. But, let's try this out. I've seen people do this. Never tried it myself, but it's no reason to believe why it wouldn't work when I do it. Let's see. You know, I haven't used these for parametric transformer in a while, so let's try that. Wow, that's faster than I thought it would be. Ah, I don't want these. Mystic enhancement ores, they're not worth resin. Books and the more I guess I'll take. Whatever. But it's way better than an older one that I had. Oh, this is what you have? Let me see. Okay, yeah, I see the change. Ooh, those abs. Very nice. Here. Oh. This is... Right? No. Oops. Here we go. Man. Yeah. This PSO does a good job with the abs. I'll give him that. Very good abs. Also, for whatever reason, doesn't seem to want to zoom in. There's been something up with Firefox after I updated recently. It's been kind of glitchy, so this is the view. But I mean, I see the resemblance, Paimon. I see you. Unfortunately, yeah, you couldn't do the circlet, but you went with the these antennae? Yeah. Let's see. We just look at the booba size. I think that's a good, yeah, that's a lot like Sucrose or Mona. But yeah, thank you for sharing. You know, look forward to seeing, like, yeah, the final results. I didn't know PSO, like, is there a new game of it out or something? I don't know. But yeah, it's a game series that I've never really played. I know it's made by Sega, I think, and they were pretty big innovators way back when in terms of online gameplay. That I think even one of the original PSO games was a Genesis game that had online connectability. Yeah, floating accessory, right? Yeah. No, yeah, you got to make do with what you can, what you have, right? It's just the nature of the beast. Oh, they released the character creator. I see. That makes perfect sense. Yeah, that they would release that so that people get hyped up for the final game. Yeah, I can definitely believe that. When I first started playing Code Vein, I got lost in the character creator for a while, and that character creator is not all that powerful. It's fairly powerful, but I've seen character creators in other games that have way more options than Code Vein. And that, yeah, so that can be super fun. Just trying to make characters or design a waifu or something like that. But anyway, yeah, like I said, I think I'll call it a stream now. Thank you everyone for coming. Thank you for sharing your PSO character in Evan. That was pretty cool to look at. And I'm pretty glad I got through the floors of Abyss that I wanted to. Glad I got another copy of Jiangchu. Yeah, pretty good results overall today. But sadly, still no solo of Ajdaha. That's still beyond my abilities at this point. So like I said again, I don't think I'll be streaming tomorrow. I got some plans in the evening, but I'll try to stream on Saturday. So I guess I'll talk to everyone next time. So until then, hope everyone has a good rest of Thursday evening and a good start of the weekend. Bye.